Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Gaowu. Treasure chests everywhere, SS's holy body at the beginning. Chapter 21. This was such explosive news that the media immediately gathered around Zhao Donghai like cats smelling fish. I would like to ask Principal Zhao, is what classmate Yi Feng said just now true? What a piece of shit. Zhao Donghai, who had been extremely angry for a long time, couldn't help but cursed. After he finished speaking, he realized that the current interview footage would be disseminated everywhere. With his status, it was not suitable for him to use swear words. But the words have been said and there is no way to take them back. He's talking nonsense. Our school expelled him because of course he seriously violated school rules, but he held a grudge because of it, and now he's framed me like this. Zhao Donghai retorted. It seems reasonable, but upon closer inspection, it is full of loopholes. The reason for expelling me at that time was that I cheated. So, let me ask you, with my current first place results in both civil and military subjects, did I need to cheat before? Or do you want to say that the current college entrance examination results are also due to cheating? Yes, then you are doubting the ability of the invigilator. As soon as Yi Feng said these words, he was very direct and made Zhao Donghai blush, but he couldn't utter a retort. It would be a big problem if he was slow to retort, let alone being speechless now. In addition, Yi Feng's words are reasonable and convincing. Su Chanyi couldn't stand it anymore and said, Zhao Donghai, I have reported it to the Education Bureau and they will investigate the matter. Just wait and see. If you are innocent, you will not be wronged. When Zhao Donghai heard this, his face turned the color of pig liver. If Yi Feng reported him to the higher authorities, he would still be able to deal with it. Because who the whistleblower is determines how seriously the superiors will attach importance to it and what level of investigators will be dispatched. It was Yi Feng who reported it, and the person he sent would most likely be dealt with by him. But now, Su Chanyi stepped in and reported the matter. The youngest female martial arts queen in Lingnan province, this title alone is enough to attract the attention of the superiors. Zhao Donghai suddenly remembered that Yi Feng said this to him before entering the examination room. You must cherish your status as the principal of No. 1 high school. At that time, he still couldn't understand what this meant. Yi Feng replied at the time, after today, you will understand. It turns out that this kid had this plan to bring him down. If something happens after the investigation, he will indeed not be able to become the principal of No. 1 middle school. What to do, what to do? Zhao Donghai panicked and racked his brains to think of a solution. Seeing his panic, Yi Feng sneered, if he had known this, why bother in the first place? However, this is not over yet. Now it's just a matter of calculating some interest. The days are long and we will settle the accounts slowly. Classmate Yi Feng, I work for Tianbao Mining Group, and many of its mines require warrior protection. I wonder if you are interested in joining our company after graduation. If you are interested, you can negotiate a contract now, even if there is no formal contract during college. When you join the company, you can also receive various benefits and subsidies from our company. It's better to come to my Yuanchuang Biology. You can choose between civilian and military positions. The annual salary starts at 1 million. Quote. Various group forces are trying to win over Yi Feng, and they want to sign a contract with Yi Feng in advance now. Other top-ranked candidates will also be attracted, but the conditions offered are far less generous than Yi Feng. No, I have no intention to join the company yet. Yi Feng declined one by one. With the treasure chest opening system, their growth rate is definitely beyond their imagination. Of course, it is impossible to be tied up by them and work for them all the time just for this kind of treatment. What Yi Feng wants is far more than that. Now that the college entrance examination is here, it is officially over. The personnel should be dispersed. Zhao Donghai was also taken away by a group of warriors and will be investigated next. Within 3 days, you will receive the admission notices from each school. Those who are lucky enough to enter our Longtang Academy, we will meet at Longtang Academy then. Su Chanyi said to many students and looked at Yi Feng emphatically. After saying that, he left. My blue treasure chest. Yi Feng twitched the corner of his mouth and watched Su Chanyi go away, and also watched the blue treasure box go away. Yi Feng, he's illing, you have brought glory to our school. Lu Tai came over, smiling from ear to ear. For each college entrance examination, schools will be ranked based on the total scores of students. The first high school existed in name only, and its ranking was directly moved to the bottom. After all, the hundreds of 0 points were all the ones that could have achieved good results, and they were hindered. On the other hand, the 10th high school, because Yifeng alone scored more than 30,000 points, directly pushed the 10th high school to the first place. After being the principal of No. 10 middle school for so many years, Lu Tai never imagined that he would still be ranked number 1. Let's go. Get in the car. Let's go back and hold a celebration tomorrow to give you awards. Lu Tai said energetically. Everyone got back into their vehicles and headed back to the city. Boom. Suddenly, there was a vibration in the distance, which attracted everyone's attention. Yifeng happened to see the situation on the other side through the car window. Deep in the day's ridge, at the entrance to the secret passage, small dots emerged one after another. Under the afterglow of the setting sun, the small dots were coated with a layer of golden light, like ripples on the lake surface, spreading continuously and finally disappearing into the dense forest of the day's ridge. Hiss! Look! Alien beasts are emerging from the secret realm of dazzling. I only heard about it in textbooks before, but I didn't expect to see it with my own eyes now. It's so shocking. There are so many strange beasts. From a distance, they look like ants. They look small, but when you stand in front of them, they are probably all big guys. Everyone exclaimed and talked in various directions. Yifeng watched quietly as the vehicle gradually moved away. Fortunately, dazzling is only a second-level secret realm, and the strange beasts that emerged are not too strong, so everyone just exclaimed. If it is those high-level secret realms, every time a strange beast appears, it is a disaster. When Yifeng returned home, the sky was completely dark. I had dinner before going home. I poured a cup of boiling water, sprinkled a small handful of tea leaves, and placed it on the coffee table. Just turn on the TV. In this college entrance examination, a dark horse emerged. This candidate is named Yifeng. Whether the principal of No. 1 middle school has violated laws or disciplines will be strictly investigated. The evening news was already broadcasting today's interview, and Yifeng became the center of attention. The posthumous photos of Yifeng's parents on the wall were facing the TV, and the smiles on their faces seemed to be happy for Yifeng. A night of silence. The next day, Yifeng came to the school and there were lanterns and colorful lights everywhere. The award ceremony was held in the Hall of Honor. The green treasure chest that I have longed for finally has a chance to open. The moment he walked into the Hall of Honor, Yifeng saw at a glance that the green treasure box was quietly placed there on the awards stage. The awards ceremony began. Lu Tai's face was red and he went to the stage to preach in person. Regardless of liberal arts or martial arts, as long as you enter the top 100, you will get a prize. The higher the ranking, the better the reward. He Ziling ranked second in both civil and military scores, and received a scholarship of 1 million yuan, 5 bottles of blood elixir, and a set of second-level mid-level equipment. Considering He Ziling's family conditions, this can definitely be regarded as an extremely generous reward. As for Yifeng, the rewards are even more generous. The bonus is 5 million yuan, 20 bottles of blood elixir, and a set of second-level top-quality equipment. The blood elixir can help improve the blood, and the equipment includes a complete set of armor and weapons. Yifeng chose the knife type as the weapon. I wonder what can be prescribed. Although the prizes are good, what Yifeng cares about most is this green treasure box. Snap! You opened a green treasure box, you are so lucky. Congratulations, you got 9,000 soul power points. Soul power. A full 9,000 points of soul power. There are many people around now, so it is not the time to integrate. Yifeng didn't integrate yet and waited until the award ceremony was over. He said goodbye to everyone and couldn't wait to leave. Back home. Merge now. Boom. The soul power merged into Yifeng's mind. Yifeng felt that there was a new kind of power in his mind, and his mental state improved a lot. In this world, in addition to warriors, there is another practice system called Soul Master. Soul Masters practice soul power and can control soul soldiers and perform soul skills. The Soul Master has strange methods and high strength. In a battle of the same level, a Chi Blood warrior is definitely no match for a Soul Master. In today's situation, Qi and blood warriors are the mainstream, while soul masters are relatively rare. If you want to become a soul master, you need to be talented in this area in order to cultivate soul power. Otherwise, no matter how hard you practice, you will not be able to become a soul master. As for Qi and blood warriors, the requirements for talent are not too strict. Most people can become warriors, it just depends on their level of achievement. I didn't expect that a green treasure chest would bring out so much soul power. What a blessing! 9,000 soul power points will directly make me a general level soul master. When the soul power reaches 9,000 points, it happens to be the early general level soul master. It is still 3,000 points away from the midterm level of 12,000 points. Yi Feng's realm as a Qi blood warrior is only at the early stage of martial arts. Now the realm of the soul master is actually a higher realm than that of the Qi and blood warrior, reaching the general level. This is good, it can be regarded as one of Yi Feng's trump cards. I hope that in the future, I can obtain things like soul weapons and soul skills, so that I can reflect the power of the soul master. I heard that the materials used to create soul soldiers are very special. After being combined with soul power, they can switch between virtuality and reality. In the virtual state, they can also be absorbed into the mind of the soul master, and the soul power can be controlled when making moves. The long-range attack is like defending an object from the air, making it difficult for people to defend against it. Yi Feng murmured to himself, thinking about it, it felt good. Try to mobilize your soul power to control the second-level sword in your hand. As expected, this sword was awarded by the school just now. It is only suitable for use by Qi and blood warriors. It is not a soul weapon, so it cannot be controlled by soul power. Just then, a new treasure chest clue popped up. Treasure box clue. A green treasure box appears in Longtang Academy, please go and open it. Treasure box clue. A green, high-quality treasure box appears in Longtang Academy, please go and open it. The two consecutive treasure chest clues are both from Longtang Academy, both are green, and one of them has the word, boutique. If you include the blue treasure box on Su Chanyi's body, there are 3 treasure boxes at Longtang Academy, waiting for Yi Feng to open them, making him eager to start school as soon as possible. No matter the urgency, we still have to wait. With nothing to do, Yi Feng took out the blood spirit pill, and the school gave him 20 bottles. It is an elixir to help improve qi and blood. Yi Feng poured one, swallowed it, and it immediately turned into a warm current, nourishing his body. The improvement speed is definitely not as fast as opening a treasure chest and directly gaining blood, but the extra improvement is as much as it can be eaten as a snack. 2 days later, Yi Feng received the admission notice as he wished. There is no surprise, he is from Longtang Academy. Yi Feng got excellent grades and was exempted from all tuition fees. The start date of school is 10 days later. This is not the world before time travel. There will be a long summer vacation after the college entrance examination. Practicing martial arts is related to the future of the human race, so there is no need to delay, and there is no way to rest for too long. It would be nice to have 10 days off. Time flies, and 10 days later. Today is the first day of school. A total of 100 students from various schools in Linhai City were admitted to Longtang Academy, and they were transported to the school by special vehicles. The vehicle drove out of the city, on the main road, and headed towards the provincial capital. There were escort vehicles at the beginning and end of the student vehicles, and there were military masters inside. The wilderness is full of dangers, and you may be attacked by strange animals at any time. The duty of the accompanying guards is to ensure the safety of the students. The vehicle moves forward. During this period, we did encounter strange beasts several times. Fortunately, they were not very powerful and were killed by the guards. In the end, there was no danger and we arrived safely at Lingnan provincial government. The provincial capital is the largest city in Lingnan province. It is located in the central area and can also be called the main city. Whether it is economic development or the number of experts, it far exceeds other cities. Longtang Academy is located right here in the provincial capital. Yi Feng, the buildings here are much taller than our Linhai city. He Ziling was sitting next to Yi Feng, looking around curiously through the car window, with novelty in his eyes. Well, it is the provincial capital after all, so it will definitely be more prosperous. Yi Feng nodded. Not only are there many tall buildings, but the strength of the passers-by is a level higher than those in Linhai City. Here, warriors can be seen everywhere, unlike Linhai City, where the proportion of ordinary people is very high. The vehicle travels and finally reaches its destination. Yi Feng and others got out of the car. This is Longtang Academy. In front of Yi Feng, there is a huge building. Different from the previous high-rise buildings, the school as a whole is biased towards the ancient style. The gate of the school, the tall door frame, is composed of two dragon-shaped stone sculptures soaring into the clouds and riding the mist. The mouths of the dragons face each other, and a transparent crystal bead is in the middle, which looks like two dragons playing with a bead. Outside the gate of the school, there is a huge square, which is already bustling with people. Judging from their clothes, they must be freshmen. There are dozens of cities in the Lingnan province, and each city has 100 admission quotas. Therefore, there are thousands of new students in Longtang Academy this year. Among them, those who are closer must have arrived early. The strange thing is that he has not entered the school for a long time, but stopped outside. Soon, Yi Feng knew what was going on. Under the gate of the academy, there were 10 warriors standing in a row. They were all old students of Longtang Academy. If you want to enter through the gate, you need to choose one of them, fight, and win before you can enter. Although these old students will suppress their strength to the same level as the freshmen, they are so rich in combat experience that even with the same strength, the freshmen are no match for them. Until now, no one has defeated them. It was not the old students who made things difficult on their own initiative, but the old tradition of Longtang Academy, which was tacitly approved by the senior leaders of the school. The freshmen who can be admitted are all top students in their respective places, so they are inevitably arrogant. But Longtang Academy is not a place where they can be arrogant. This old tradition is intended to suppress their spirit. Look, another new student has arrived. I don't know which city they are from. The arrival of Yi Feng and others attracted the attention of everyone in the square. He's from Linhai City. That man is handsome and accompanied by a beautiful woman. His name is Yi Feng. I've seen interviews with him online. He's the top scholar in Linhai City in both subjects. Yes, it is indeed him. I wonder if he can defeat those old students. It's not that easy. There are also top scorers in 2 subjects in other cities. They will lose the same way. The fighting skills of the old students are not comparable to those of our freshmen. Everyone was talking a lot. Within the academy, the 2 brothers, who looked quite similar, saw Yi Feng's arrival through the crowd, and their spirits were lifted. Brother, have you made all arrangements? The person who spoke was Zhao Ming, Zhao Donghai's nephew and the biggest beneficiary of Yi Feng's subcontracting. He got the recommended place and had connections in the school, so he was not hindered and simply entered the school. Next to him is his brother, named Zhao Shang. 2 years ago, he entered Longtang Academy by recommendation from Linhai City No. 1 High School. He is now also a senior student. He was able to be admitted in the first place thanks to his uncle's operation, otherwise he would still be barely qualified. It can be said that the 2 brothers are in the same form. I've already told you that when Yi Feng goes out to play, the goalkeeper will pretend to miss and severely injure him. Teach him a lesson first, then enter Longtang Academy and play with him slowly. I want him to know that I offended him. Our Zhao family will have to pay a heavy price. Zhao Shang said sadly. Yes, this caused my uncle to lose his position as principal. We must teach that boy a lesson. Zhao Ming also said fiercely. After these days of investigation, although no direct evidence has been found to confirm the fact that the results were swapped, a lot of other black materials about Zhao Donghai have been found. A person like him usually does bad things, leaving many traces behind. Now he has been dismissed from his job and will never be able to work in education. Even if he joins other jobs, he will be strictly scrutinized. In short, for Zhao Donghai, this punishment is very uncomfortable and has a huge impact on him. It affects not only Zhao Donghai, but also the entire Zhao family. As far as education is concerned, any Zhao family member with poor grades can use Zhao Donghai's secret operations to give them a chance to go to a good school. But now, this road has been cut off. They pointed all their fingers at Yi Feng, without any remorse. It was obviously their own violation of the law that led to this result. Brother, there are 10 goalkeepers, and you have told them all. Do they all obey you like this? Zhao Ming asked curiously. Isn't this simple? Interests open the way, and few people will refuse. It's just a mistake and hurt a new student. It's no big deal. Therefore, if you can get benefits in exchange, you will definitely be willing to do it. Zhao Shang said matter-of-factly. Other side. At the top of a tower in the school, several instructors gathered together and looked at the scene at the school gate from a distance. Time flies so fast. We were chatting here last year and watched the group of freshmen being blocked outside the school. A year has passed in the blink of an eye. Haha, you said this last year too. Is there any? Definitely. Several instructors were talking and laughing. Do you think any of this class of candidates can beat the old gatekeepers? One of them, a tutor who was at least 9 meters tall and as strong as an iron tower, glanced at the freshmen outside the school in the distance and said curiously. I heard that Chu Xiaocheng, the top scorer in the college entrance examination, has a very strange talent. When he uses it, it consumes his own energy and makes all aspects of his physical fitness skyrocket. If he is willing to use this talent, he should have a certain chance. A tutor next to him said this, and after speaking, he looked at Su Chani. By the way, you are in charge of invigilating the exams in Linhai City, right? I heard that the top scorer in the college entrance examination in Linhai City is also very good. In Su Chani's mind, Yi Feng's figure immediately appeared, and she nodded, yes, that candidate is indeed excellent. Su Chani still vividly remembers the fighting skills Yi Feng displayed during the martial arts exam. Look, it's him, Su Chani said. Several instructors have amazing eyesight and can clearly see the new students outside the school from a long distance. At this time, Yi Feng stepped forward and walked towards the old gatekeeper. Which one do you want to challenge? It's up to you. The old students spoke up and briefly explained the rules to Yi Feng. Both sides must show their peak martial arts strength and must defeat the old students before they can enter the school. That's up to you. Yi Feng randomly ordered one, and it was the same to him. While speaking, he looked past the crowd and towards the school. Not far from the entrance, there is a green treasure chest, placed there quietly. I'm in a hurry to open the treasure chest, so I don't have time to waste it here with them. Good. This person came out of the queue. He was a well-built man with relatively narrow eyes. He was not easy to mess with at first glance. His name is Zhou Yang. His realm has reached the peak of martial arts. He can suppress a great realm and reach the peak of martial arts. He feels no pressure to fight against a new student. Zhao Shang had already shown Yi Feng's appearance to them in advance, so Zhou Yang already knew that the person in front of him was Yi Feng. Although we have no grievances, since you have offended Zhao Shang and I have accepted his benefits, then we must handle the matter well without offending you. Zhou Yang secretly thought in his heart. Are you ready? All right. Both sides chose an unedged sword, and the war was about to break out. The freshmen present all held their breath and watched extremely seriously. Before this, many people had tried on the field, and all of them, without exception, were defeated by the old students. The person who persisted the longest lost 5 moves in the hands of Laosheng, and most of the others lost in 1 move. It can be seen that even if they use the same strength, there is a huge gap in their fighting skills. Watch the move. Zhou Yang's energy and blood surged, and his sword slashed hard at Yi Feng with fierce force. So fast, all the freshmen exclaimed. Yi Feng also made a move instantly, also at an extremely fast speed. The freshmen shouted again. Just when the two swords were about to collide, Zhou Yang's eyes flashed with cold light, and he suddenly made a change of move. It's so abrupt, the angle is tricky, and the timing is just right. It would have been hard for any other new student to resist. Be careful, get out of the way. This was actually shouted by Zhou Yang. He looked anxious at this time, as if he was afraid that Yi Feng would be injured. The momentum of the edgeless sword in his hand did not weaken at all, and it slashed hard at Yi Feng. Everything is in his calculation. When he injured Yi Feng afterwards, he could use the excuse that he was unable to hold back the sword for a moment. However, how could Yi Feng be fooled by his tricks? Looking at the opponent's sword power, it is clear that there is no momentum to try to withdraw the attack, which is intentional at first glance. If this is hit, even if the sword has no peak, it will still be injured. In this case, then we have to retaliate in kind. Seeing Yi Feng's figure change suddenly, he actually dodged his attack with ease. Zhou Yang was confused. I told you to dodge, but you can really dodge. This is not over yet. Yi Feng's sword struck out instantly, his movements were smooth, and he completed it in one go. Bang! Zhou Yang couldn't react and was hit hard by Yi Feng. His whole body was knocked several meters away and fell into the school, wailing in pain. It's cracked. There must be bones in his chest that are cracked. Good sword skills. In just a short moment, Yi Feng showed extremely strong adaptability and extremely high combat literacy. Several instructors watching the battle from a distance couldn't help but praise him. Too strong. Is this the value of Linhai City's top scorer in the college entrance examination? With just one blow, I was injured. Not to mention the freshmen, the whole place erupted into shouts like a stormy wave. Among the crowd, a chubby freshman who looked harmless to humans and animals stopped eating snacks and looked at Yi Feng curiously. It's amazing. He Ziling also looked at Yi Feng in surprise. Under the gaze of everyone, Yi Feng walked into the school gate and approached the green treasure box. No one dared to stop him. How so? Observing the situation here from a distance, the two brothers Zhao Shang and Zhao Ming had disbelief on their faces. Yi Feng approaches the green treasure chest. Snap! You opened a green treasure box. Congratulations on getting the third-level soul weapon, devil-breaking gun. A long spear exuding black and purple, with a total length of 2.8 meters, and the tip of the spear flashing with cold light, which looked quite extraordinary. Nice gun. It turns out that this is the soul weapon, a weapon suitable for use by soul masters. Treasure chests can also be opened to reveal real objects. This is the first time that all the ones that were opened before can be integrated into the body, which almost made Yi Feng think that there is no way to open the real thing. Oops, there are so many people watching around, will they see you? Yi Feng's heart skipped a beat. If the demon-breaking spear is seen, he has no choice but to reveal his identity as a soul master and say that it is his soul weapon. He cannot reveal the existence of the treasure chest. System prompt. The item you opened is a physical object. Do you want to materialize it now? After it is materialized, others will see it. You must also materialize the item before you can use it normally. The system suddenly issued this prompt, which made Yi Feng feel relieved. Then don't show it now. It's not too late to find a place where no one is around before you show it up. Yi Feng walked toward the school. At this time, two exclamations came from behind. Yi Feng stopped and turned around to look. There were two battlefields behind him. Two freshmen were fighting against old students. The fight was back and forth and extremely fierce. In fact, Lao Sheng seemed to be no match for him and gradually fell behind. This is where everyone exclaimed. One of them was filled with icy cold air, like a saint of ice and snow. Every sword attack brought a bone-chilling chill, making her opponent unable to resist. Unless the martial arts strength is unleashed to deal with it, defeat is certain. But it is impossible for Lao Sheng to use the strength of a martial artist, which would violate the rules. The woman in the battle is naturally He Ziling. Ever since she awakened the Zan Bing Han body, her strength has jumped to a big level and is much stronger than before. Seeing that Yi Feng defeated an old student and entered the school, she wanted to follow him immediately, so the fight started. On another battlefield, there was a young man. What makes people laugh is that this person in the battle also has a pack of snacks that he had eaten in Kaifeng on his waist. His moves are extremely fast and sharp, and his reaction ability is extremely fast. Every time he strikes, he is fast, accurate and ruthless, beating the old student back steadily. This person. Yi Feng had some impression of this person. He was standing near him before. He was chubby and eating snacks. With such an image and unique appearance, Yi Feng was a little impressed by him. But the amazing thing is that before, I was so fat that my eyes became thin lines, but now I don't look like they are, I am just slightly fat. If it weren't for their similar looks and the bag of snacks on his waist, Yi Feng would have thought that they were not the same person. A casual fight would cost so much. It could even make someone lose weight. Yi Feng felt a little strange. Soon, both of them finished the fight, and the result was as Yi Feng expected, both of them won. The audience burst into warm applause. 3 freshmen came on the field one after another, and all of them won. The freshmen were naturally excited, while the old students were made to lose face and lose confidence. Are all the freshmen this year so strong? On the tower in the distance, unexpected expressions appeared on the faces of several instructors. It is indeed better than last year, which is good. It suppresses a wave of old students and makes them not think too highly of themselves. Haha, it all makes sense. The instructors were chatting and laughing. Su Chani suddenly felt a sight. As King Wu, she was very sensitive to everything she looked at, and she quickly found the source of the sight. Can you spot me from this far away? Su Chani was surprised. What's wrong? Asked other instructors. No. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Su Chani shook her head. Yi Feng sighed. Quickly look away. As expected of King Wu, his perception is very sensitive. I just took a casual look and was discovered. Yi Feng secretly marveled. On a whim, I followed the blue arrow all the way to the top of the tower, and then I saw Su Chani. I didn't expect that I would be discovered after just one glance. Yi Feng. He Ziling chased after him. You also won, you're awesome. Yi Feng praised. Don't laugh at me. You won with one move, neatly. I fought for a while and still only narrowly won. Compared with you, it's nothing. He Ziling shook his head. That's true. Yi Feng nodded. He Ziling. This answer is too straightforward. Hello, my name is Sun Rong, and I am the top scorer in Chu Shacheng's college entrance examination. The fat young man behind him caught up with him, showing a harmless smile and making a familiar introduction. Click click click. He had already taken the snack bag on his waist and kept putting it into his mouth. He couldn't speak clearly after eating, and there were still many snack crumbs stuck to his lips. Such an image is in huge contrast to the man who was attacking fiercely during the fight just now. Yi Feng, from Linhai City. He Ziling, from Linhai City. He stretched out his hand not to hit the smiling person. Even though they were unfamiliar with the person, Yi Feng and both of them still responded. You are all awesome. Sun Rong complimented and handed the snack bag to Yi Feng and the two of them. Would you like some potato chips? No, thank you. What a weirdo. It's okay to eat potato chips, but it's weird to eat them endlessly when freshmen enter school. The three of them walked inside. Yi Feng suddenly felt a gaze and immediately turned his head to look. Zhao Ming. Yi Feng narrowed his eyes. There are actually two looks coming over. Zhao Ming, and Zhao Shang. Zhao Shang has high strength and hides himself well. Zhao Ming failed to hide and was discovered by Yi Feng. After being discovered, he was just slightly startled and then returned to normal. Zhao Ming gestured to his neck with his hand and made a motion of slitting his throat, which was a very obvious provocation. Zhao Shang looked at him coldly, his face full of hostility. Just now I was still wondering how the old student could deliberately miss and hurt himself. Now Yi Feng also understood that it was these two brothers who were responsible. Zhao Shang, who had an indifferent expression, suddenly looked at He Ziling intently, and then showed a look of surprise. You don't know if you don't see it, but you will be surprised when you see it. Isn't this an old acquaintance? But why are the scars on his face gone? And he is more beautiful than before. Is he the same person? Yi Feng discovered that He Ziling suddenly had something strange. At this time, He Ziling's body could not help but tremble slightly. Endless anger was burning in her heart, and the murderous intent in her eyes was still real. If her strength didn't allow it, she would definitely not be able to control herself and immediately rushed to kill Zhao Shang. This scumbag, one day, I will kill him with my own hands. He Ziling squeezed out this paragraph from between his teeth. Yi Feng finally figured it out. The scumbag who once forced He Ziling to disfigure was Zhao Shang. Instead of staying where they were, Yi Feng and the other two went to register for the admission procedures and officially became students of Longtang Academy. The three of them came to the dormitory area. Located to the west of the school, it occupies a very large area, with buildings lined up one after another, with no end in sight. The outer circle is the freshman dormitory, and the inner circle is the old student dormitory. Oh, why can the freshmen only live in single rooms, while the old students have a small courtyard? Sun Rong complained while eating snacks. His statement was not rigorous enough. The admission manual said that if you reach 10,000 credits and become a senior student, you can move into the inner dormitory. But in most cases, it takes a long time to accumulate 10,000 credits, and you will indeed become a senior student by then. If any new student can collect 10,000 points in a short period of time, he will be qualified to live in the inner circle. Yi Feng and the three of them each chose a room to stay in. The facilities inside are simple and there is a toilet, which is enough for daily living. Close the door. The demonic breaking spear, Yi Feng whispered. The demon breaking spear immediately materialized and became a hard object. It felt cold to the touch when held in the hand. Try to mobilize the soul power, extend it, and wrap the magic breaking gun. Moved. Under the control of the soul power, the magic breaking gun actually moved. After Yi Feng let go, it floated in the void. A thought. Call out. Shoot quickly and go away. Just when it was about to hit the wall, it suddenly stopped and stopped steadily in midair. If it doesn't stop in time, a big hole will definitely be pierced through the wall. Receive. Following Yi Feng's thoughts, the demon breaking spear transformed into a purple-black energy and merged into Yi Feng's mind. In his mind, this purple-black energy took the shape of a demon breaking gun. It can be called at any time, released from the body, transformed into a gun, and used to fight and kill enemies. It's no wonder that soul masters are more powerful than warriors of the same level. Just by being able to create weapons from scratch, they can catch the enemy off guard. What's more, soul masters can control weapons from a distance, which makes it even more difficult to deal with them. Yi Feng felt very satisfied. When it gets dark, the freshmen who were blocked outside the door can finally come in. After being blocked for a day, everyone was very angry. However, thinking that Yi Feng and the others could defeat the old students and come in early proved that their skills were inferior to others, I just let it go. The next day, it's the official start of school. The freshmen are divided into 10 classes, with hundreds of people in each class, and each class is led by a junior tutor. The strength of the junior instructors is at the level of military commander. It is more than enough to lead this group of freshmen who are at the highest level of martial arts. Yi Feng originally wanted to be with Su Chani, because she had a blue treasure chest on her body, and only by being in contact with her on a daily basis could she have a chance to open the treasure chest. Only now do I know that Su Chani is a senior mentor. If you want to be led by her, you need to become a senior student first. If you have 10,000 credits, you are an advanced student. I have to save up to 10,000 credits as soon as possible. When the time comes, not only will he be able to live under Su Chani's family, but he will also be able to live in a small courtyard, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. The blue treasure chest cannot be opened for the time being, so think of a way to open the remaining green, high-quality treasure chest first. There are 2 green treasure chest clues obtained before, one of which has the word high quality as the suffix, and one does not. The one who didn't have it was shot by myself yesterday and got the magic breaking gun. Yi Feng has already figured out the location of the one with the fine products. Just south of the school, on the 2nd floor of the collection pavilion. Unfortunately, I am not eligible to go up yet. The school stipulates that only those with more than 1,000 credits are eligible to go to the 2nd floor. The collection pavilion is a place where the school stores secret books. It is quite important. People cannot come and go at will, so there are many restrictions. Secondly, the cheats are not given for free. They need to be redeemed with credits. The redemption price for the cheats on the 2nd floor is relatively high, each one worth hundreds of credits. Therefore, there is this restriction. If you don't have enough credits, you won't be able to change the secrets when you go to school. You will just be a touch-and-go party. There will be many people and complicated eyes, and it will be troublesome to manage the school. I am your junior instructor, Dang Qingfeng. Before you are promoted to senior students, I will teach you. If you have anything you don't understand about cultivation, you can ask me. Now learn from me, the first volume of Dragon's Breath, adjust your breathing, luck in your dantian, and let the blood circulate in the body. Dang Qingfeng is a relatively serious and capable person. He doesn't talk too much nonsense and teaches the techniques immediately after he gets started. Dragon's Breath is a practice method unique to Longtang Academy. It is said that it was created by observing the breathing of dragons. Yi Feng remains skeptical about this rumor. The so-called dragon is said to be a very advanced creature. The one who can observe the dragon's breathing without being discovered is probably the top powerhouse of the same level. How could a cultivation method created in this way be taught to students casually? Although it is only the first volume, it is still very precious, so at least the threshold must be set. No longer thinking about it, Yifeng concentrated on following the practice. Every breath, frequency, speed, volume, all have requirements. He usually doesn't breathe like this, so Yifeng is a little unaccustomed to breathing at this rhythm. The same goes for other students, you can tell by looking at their slightly frowned brows. However, as time went by, Yifeng gradually adapted to it, and slowly, he felt comfortable. It became more and more selfless and natural, until finally, every breath was accompanied by a strange sound. At this time, Yifeng felt very comfortable. The qi and blood in his body were constantly circulating and increasing slightly. In a short period of time, you may not see the effect, but if you practice for a long time, the effect will be obvious. You learned it so quickly. Deng Qingfang was shocked. He, who had always been calm and composed, was a little bit out of sorts at this time. The sound of breathing is the expression of learning, dragon's breath. Having taught many freshmen, this is the first time he has seen such a learning speed. After a complete set of dragon's breath was completed, Yifeng finished his work. Being able to learn it so quickly is partly due to Yifeng's good understanding, but more importantly, Yifeng possesses the martial arts holy body, which is also very helpful for learning martial arts and martial arts. After all, it is an SSS physique, which will definitely bring many benefits. Dragon's breath is indeed a good practice method. If you have time, you can practice it. Plus, if you open the treasure chest, your strength will improve faster. Have you really learned dragon breath? Deng Qingfang asked Yifeng directly. Although he was convinced, he still couldn't believe it. I learned it. Yifeng nodded and told the truth. Deng Qingfang's eyes twitched and he didn't know what to say. The other students present temporarily stopped studying and looked at Yifeng with disbelief on their faces. Yifeng learned it before they even had the slightest idea. It was really annoying to compare people to each other. If He Ziling and Sun Rong were here, they would definitely look at Yifeng with admiration again. When there is no overclass, the numbers are randomly drawn, and the three people are divided into three different classes. Deng Qingfang continued to teach and teach. After all, the other students had not learned it yet. Yifeng found a corner and practiced quietly. Wait until school is over. A large group of students surrounded Yifeng, asking how he practiced and whether there were any tricks to learning it so quickly. Yifeng, do you need any skills? It's very simple. Just follow the teacher and you'll be fine. Everyone burst into tears. Maybe this is a genius. Yifeng ran away and went straight to the mission hall. Hurry up and earn 1,000 credits from it, and open the treasure chest on the second floor of the collection pavilion. The mission hall is a great place to earn credits. There are tasks in it. After completing the tasks, you can get corresponding credits. These tasks can be divided into two broad categories, internal and external execution within the school. Tasks within the school are released by the school, and can be released by the school's senior management, tutors, or even students. There are many types, such as working part-time at a certain job or tutoring a junior student. The more difficult the task is to complete, the higher the credit reward will be. However, after looking around, I didn't see any suitable tasks within the school, and the credits given were not many. What Yifeng wants is a higher reward, preferably more than 1,000 points, so that he can reach the target in one go. However, this kind of task is relatively difficult and requires higher strength. Generally speaking, it is impossible for freshmen to complete it. Fortunately, Yifeng is not ordinary. The realm of Qi and Blood Warriors is currently in the middle stage of martial arts. It was in the early stages before, but after these 10 days, I ate the blood spirit pill as a snack, and with practice, I was promoted to a small level. Such a speed is considered very fast, and it is also the result of the martial arts holy body. There is another big trump card. General level Soul Master. Using the demon breaking spear, one can sweep away all Qi-blooded generals. Yifeng's junior tutor, Deng Qingfang, would never have imagined that any of the new students he taught would be as strong as him. Yifeng then checked the task list on the big screen. The left side is internal tasks, and the right side is external execution. If there is no suitable internal task, Yifeng will go out to perform it. This part of the task was entrusted by forces outside the school. They paid a certain amount of remuneration and entrusted the school to help. The school rewarded credits and hung them in the task hall for students to receive. Everyone gets what they need, allowing students to have the opportunity to experience and also enhance the school's prestige. This is good. Yifeng saw in the task list that he went out to perform that the reward was exactly 1,000 credits. Mission: kill the 3 evils of the Ma family. Details: the 3 brothers of the Ma family committed crimes by burning, killing and looting everywhere. A month ago, and property of the Lin family was looted by them and all the employees of the industry were killed. They were entrusted by the Lin family to help hunt down the 3 evils of the Ma family. Recommended strength: early stage military commander and above. Task reward: 1,000 credits. It turned out to be a killing mission. Is murder illegal? In theory, it is illegal, but because of the existence of secret realms, there are many places outside the law. They all reached a consensus that if someone was killed in a secret realm, or even outside the city, no one would be held accountable. The main reason is that we don't have the ability to investigate. In an era when everyone practices martial arts, a large number of people disappear and die every day. Either he was killed by a strange beast, or he was killed by a human being. If we really want to investigate, we may not be able to find out clearly. Therefore, the Lin family can only use this method, tit for tat, to hunt down the enemy for revenge, instead of calling the police to solve the problem, because there is a high probability that there will be no results if the report is made. That's it. Yifeng received it directly. Use your student card to touch the task on the big screen to receive success. Yifeng left the school. Classes are free and you don't have to be away from school when performing tasks. After Yifeng left the mission hall, there were other students inside, and one of them, not far from where Yifeng was just now, pressed his tactical watch to communicate with someone. He took the mission and left. What mission? Kill the 3 evils of the Ma family. What? Say it again. The other party sounded surprised, thinking he heard wrongly. Kill the 3 evils of the Ma family. The man had no choice but to repeat. This task is quite difficult. Can he handle it? I don't know. Maybe I don't understand. I thought the credits were high, so I just received them. Dormitory area, inner perimeter. In a certain courtyard. Zhao Shang looked at his tactical watch and listened thoughtfully to the words coming from the other side. You're really looking for death. If Yifeng was killed by the 3 evil men of the Ma family, he would be very happy. But this is not safe. After hanging up the call, he immediately dialed another person. Yifeng has left school. Yifeng sighed. After leaving the school, we headed to the Pearl Villa area. The head of the Lin family, Lin Tianxiang, lives here. What a magnificent villa. The entire community is composed of independent villas. Those who can buy villas in the provincial capital are all wealthy owners. Any of the villas here can be sold for hundreds of millions, or even hundreds of millions. When I make money, I will buy a house to live in. I have always lived in old houses and have never lived in a good house. After receiving the task, more detailed information was provided, such as the Lin family's address. To the east of the community, there is Villa 108. The metal gate of the villa was closed tightly, and there were security guards inside. Seeing Yifeng approaching, he asked about his purpose. Yifeng explained his intention and confirmed his identity. "PLZ, follow me." It was obvious that he had made arrangements in advance, so the security guard readily opened the door and led Yifeng in until he reached the reception hall inside. "Master, this is a student from Longtang Academy. He said he received a mission and came to consult you about the situation." The security guard reported, then withdrew and returned to his post outside. "Hello, I am the client of this mission, Lin Tianxiang. You came just in time. We are discussing the mission itinerary. We were about to set off, but now it is better. With a senior student from Longtang Academy like you joining us, we are more stable now." Lin Tianxiang was smiling and showing great enthusiasm. Following his words, Yifeng also noticed that Lin Tianxiang was not the only one in the room, but there were 3 other people. These 3 people have very similar faces, and they are probably 3 brothers. "You also entrusted others." Yifeng frowned slightly. Since he entrusted Longtang Academy, why should he invite others? He was fully confident in dealing with the 3 evils of the Ma family. Now there were more outsiders, and the more people there were, the more complicated they were. Yifeng was a little unhappy. "That's it. I originally planned to only entrust you with Longtang Academy, but I've been entrusting the task for a while, but no one has picked up the task. I'm afraid that something will change if it's too late. After all, the clues in the previous investigation are time-sensitive, and the time interval if it takes too long, there will be changes. I really can't wait any longer, so I entrusted 3 of them. Quote. Lin Tianxiang explained and pointed to the 3 brothers nearby. Come on, let me introduce you to them. They are the 3 brothers Long, Hu and Bao. Aaron, Ahu and Abao used to be bodyguards, but later switched to commission business. They are quite capable, and they are all at the peak of martial arts. The 3 brothers, Dragon, Tiger and Leopard, are somewhat famous in the industry. As for the 3 evils of the Ma family, the leader, Ma Boss, is stronger and a peak martial artist, while the remaining 2 and 3 are only in the later stages of martial arts. Lin Tianxiang felt that it was enough to let Long Hubao deal with the 3 evils of the Ma family. But now that the mission has been taken by Yi Feng, it is difficult to cancel it. The 2 groups can only cooperate, which will have a greater chance of winning. Please, little brother, please show me your student card. After completing the task, I can fill in the task person information. This is actually only one aspect, and it is also to verify Yi Feng's identity. Yi Feng handed the student card to Lin Tianxiang. Yi Feng, junior student, enrollment period. June 20, 350 th year of Gaowu Ji. Wait, junior students, the ones who just enrolled yesterday, aren't they the freshmen this year? When seeing this information, Lin Tianxiang felt his head buzzing. According to his assumptions, the person who will receive this task must be a senior student. At the worst, he will be an old student from last year, not a new student this year. Otherwise, what's the difference between dying and dying? New life, how much strength can it have? Most of the new students have not yet broken through to the martial arts realm. Even if a few with outstanding talents have broken through, aren't they still in the early stages of martial arts? Where is the opponent this time? Any one of the 3 evils of the Ma family must be at least a late-stage martial artist, and none of them can be dealt with by a new student. Let alone one person, even if a car comes, they will not be opponents. Did you get the wrong mission? Lin Tianxiang held the last glimmer of hope and asked Yi Feng for confirmation. That's right, it's the Ma family's 3 evil tasks. Yi Feng answered naturally. After hearing this, Lin Tianxiang's vision went dark and he almost fell down. What do you mean? You want us to go on such a dangerous mission with a new student? Isn't that just a shame? The 3 brothers, Dragon, Tiger and Leopard, are outspoken. As early as just now, Yi Feng heard that there were 3 of them on this mission, and then he immediately frowned, looking disgusted. The 3 of them were already unhappy. I also thought that Yi Feng came from Longtang Academy, and everyone who could enter it was a genius. A senior student from Longtang Academy is indeed strong and arrogant, and has the strength to despise them. But now, my dear, it turns out to be just a new student. What is a new student to be arrogant about? Even if you have martial arts qualifications, but before your strength has grown, what qualifications do you have to be arrogant? How many amazingly talented and beautiful people were strangled in the cradle and died early, becoming nothing? A genius must be a grown-up genius to be useful. A genius without growth is nothing. You are quite self-aware and know that you are a drag, so I will give you a chance to quit the mission now so as not to drag me down. Yi Feng said with a smile. We're talking about you dragging the bottle. The 3 dragons, tigers and leopards were so angry that they almost vomited blood. Could this person's understanding be any worse? Don't argue, don't argue. This time it's my problem. I entrusted both parties to make these things happen. Lin Tianxiang came out to smooth things over, and if the 2 sides continue to argue, they might start fighting. No matter which party is injured, it is not easy to deal with. Let's do this. Since you have all received the task, you can cooperate once and execute it together. When the time comes, each will perform his own duties and be responsible for his own safety. No one needs to care about the other. Lin Tianxiang suggested. The task was entrusted and neither party wanted to cancel it, so this was the only way. He felt that Yi Feng did not have this ability, but Yi Feng still persisted, and there was nothing he could do. Okay, that's it. Anyway, the 3 of us don't care. We are not afraid of the 3 evils of the Ma family at all. Some people are different and may lose their lives. When the time comes, don't blame us for not saving them. Aaron had something to say and said sarcastically. Well, I will definitely not save you until death. Yi Feng took out his ears and repeated. Let's talk about intelligence. According to the information I got, the 3 evil spirits of the Ma family have recently appeared in Blackwater Valley. The environment there is very chaotic. You should be more careful when you go there. If it doesn't work, come back first and we will find another way. Lin Tianxiang said. It's okay, no matter how dangerous the place is, we have been there. Long Hubao pretended to have seen the world. Yi Feng just nodded lightly and said nothing. The vehicles have been arranged and can leave now. Under Lin Tianxiang's farewell, the 4 of them got on an off-road vehicle and headed towards the Blackwater Valley. In the car, Yi Feng controlled his tactical watch and searched Blackwater Valley, and the information came out quickly. Blackwater Valley is not within the provincial capital. It is located in the wild south of the provincial capital. It is a long canyon. A long time ago, some illegal transactions were carried out here, and a black market gradually formed. Buying and selling did not ask where they came from, and even if you wanted to kill people and get goods, you would not have to worry about it. Later, the market grew bigger and bigger, and more people came here. With the development, it gradually became its own system. Although the sparrow is small and has all the internal organs, it has the feeling of a small city. However, Blackwater Valley is definitely not a civilized city. Many people who have committed serious crimes like to come here. This is a lawless place, where everything speaks with fists, and everything is primitive, violent, and bloody. It is a paradise for the violent and the insane. When the off-road vehicle drove into the Blackwater Valley, Yi Feng felt the madness head-on. Within sight, there were fights going on in 3 places, with swords flying and blood splattering in all directions. One of them was cut down, and the assailant immediately struck again. Puff! Hit in the middle of the neck, the round head rolled several times before it stopped. The assailant cursed a few words and left. The people around me are all just taking it for granted, and no one will pay attention to it. How's it going? You regret it. It's still too late to quit now. Don't worry, we won't laugh at you, ha ha ha. Aaron turned to Yi Feng and laughed. He doesn't know how to joke, but his smile is very real. Yi Feng glanced at him lightly and ignored his words. Leave one person to watch the car, while the rest walk around to find out where the 3 evil spirits of the Ma family are. After Yi Feng finished speaking, he got off the car directly. It took a while before the 3 brothers Long, Tiger and Leopard came to their senses. When did this young boy have his turn to make a plan? The 3 people cursed angrily and were very unhappy. Brother, what should we do now? Asked Abao, who was driving. Bao, you stay here to look after the car, while Ahu and I go to find out the news. Aaron said, and then the 2 got out of the car. Abao, who stayed in the car, realized it later. After thinking about it, he murmured, isn't the action plan still the same? Yi Feng walked casually. Try to move closer to a crowded place to have a greater chance of hearing the news. Aaron and Ahu were about the same, heading in the other direction. At this time, the treasure chest clue prompt suddenly popped up. Treasure box clue. There is a yellow, high-quality treasure box 1,000 meters ahead. Please go and open it. Although it is only yellow, fortunately it is high quality and not bad, and you will make money no matter what you buy. Yi Feng followed the yellow arrow and quickly found the treasure chest, which he could open directly without any difficulty. Snap! You opened a yellow, high-quality treasure box. Congratulations on getting 1,200 cards of Qi and Blood, 1,300 cards of Qi and Blood. The boutique treasure chest can yield 2 items, both of which are actually energy and blood. The values are different. It seems that even if the treasure chests are of the same level, the items opened will fluctuate up and down. Merge. Yi Feng's energy and blood surged rapidly. Originally, there were 4,000 calories in blood, but with the addition of these 2,500, it immediately jumped to 6,500 calories. More than 6,000 calories and less than 9,000 calories is considered the peak level of a martial artist. In other words, opening this treasure box allows Yi Feng to advance directly from the middle stage of martial arts to 2 small realms and reach the peak of martial arts. At this time, 2 people approached, with obvious hostility on their faces. Tisk tisk, where did this kid come from? Judging from his age, he is a student, right? Boy, you really don't know how high the sky is and how dare you come to Blackwater Valley alone. The two of them shouted at Yifeng with fierce looks on their faces. What do you want to do? Yifeng asked lightly. What are you doing? Ha ha ha, he's so young and handsome. It would be a pity not to be a duck. There just happens to be someone here who collects it and can sell it at a good price. Be honest with me, come here and let us sell you, otherwise we will have to let you die. The two men threatened and waved the long knives in their hands. Good. Yifeng approached the two of them. Bang. He suddenly took action and punched the man on the left directly in the chest. The whole chest was instantly sunk, and the man's eyes suddenly bulged. Puff. A large mouthful of blood was spurted out, along with pieces of internal organs. His eyes were full of shock, his breath slowly dissipated, and he fell down unwillingly. With just one punch, he was beaten to death. Yifeng didn't feel any discomfort when he killed someone for the first time. He felt no different from killing a strange beast. So strong. The man who was still alive was stunned for a while and finally came to his senses. A boy who looks like a student is so strong. The energy and blood that just burst out must be at the peak level of a martial artist, right? What a joke. A young boy actually has the peak strength of a martial artist. On the other hand, they themselves are only in the early stage of martial arts. This time, I hit the wall. Please don't kill me. I can be a cow or a horse for you. The man who was still alive was extremely frightened. He was killed here and no one cared about him. He could only beg for mercy. It was useless to resist, and he couldn't escape. He only hoped that Yifeng could spare his life. Then it depends on you whether you can provide useful information. Yifeng said coldly. I will spare his life just because I want to ask about the situation, otherwise I would have killed him all just now. Excuse me, as long as I know something, I will tell you everything. He seemed to be grasping the last straw and spoke quickly and urgently. Do you often hang out in Blackwater Valley? Yifeng asked. Yes, I have been in Blackwater Valley for a while. He replied. Have you ever seen the three evils of the Ma family? Yifeng asked again. I only saw him once recently, 2 days ago. He confirmed. Yifeng regained his energy, just seeing him proved that he was still here. Yifeng asked him for details. Unfortunately, apart from saying that I saw it there is no other valuable information. I have already confessed everything, can you spare me? He asked anxiously. The corners of Yifeng's mouth raised, revealing an unpredictable smile. Bang! He punched out and killed the person in his unbelievable eyes. Spare him, what a joke. Yifeng never planned it. He said he saw it over there, I'll go over and have a look. Yifeng walked back. You need to pass off-road vehicles on the way. Coincidentally, the two brothers Aaron and Ahu also happened to come back. I inquired about the situation. Someone saw the three evils of the Ma family over there. They got in the car and went over to have a look. The person who spoke was Aaron, and what he found out was similar to Yifeng. The reason why they came back first was that they happened to be passing by here, and the three of them had to be present, otherwise they would not be able to deal with the three evils of the Ma family. Seeing Yifeng arriving, he thought it was just a coincidence and asked Yifeng to get in the car together. If you're afraid, you don't have to follow me. Aaron is always looking for opportunities to ridicule Yifeng. Yifeng ignored him again, opened the car door and sat in. Aaron snorted coldly, and he and Ahu also got into the car. Abao, there's news, let's go over there. Aaron shouted, but Abao didn't respond. Abao, go over there. Aaron increased the volume, but Abao remained silent. Yifeng, who was sitting in the back row, noticed something was wrong. The two brothers, Aaron and Ahu, also noticed the strange atmosphere. At this moment, Abao in front tilted his head and fell down. There was a hole in the middle of his forehead, and no blood was oozing out. Abao. Aaron's eyes were about to burst and he cried out sadly. Not good. Boom. A violent explosion detonated from the center of the off-road vehicle, a huge fireball completely swallowed the vehicle, and black smoke billowed. After the explosion, the vehicle was torn apart and Abao's body burned in the flames. Yifeng, Aaron, and Ahu stabilized their bodies a few meters away from the explosion point. At some point, 3 other people appeared around him. None other than the 3 evils of the Ma family. Perhaps when Aaron and the others inquired about the news, their purpose was exposed. Otherwise, it would be unlikely that they would take the initiative to find them. Anyway, Yifeng interrogated the man at that time to make sure that no one was around, so it was impossible for Yifeng to expose him. Tisk, tisk, as expected, ordinary objects like bombs are of little use against warriors. Boss Ma said in a teasing tone. If it explodes at close range, the warrior will indeed be killed, but the problem is that the warrior's reaction is too fast and his movements are very agile. After noticing the abnormality, he can avoid it immediately, so it will be difficult to explode. You kill my third brother, I want you to die. Aaron and Ahu, full of rage, drew their knives to kill the 3 evil men of the Ma family. Bang, bang, it's just that the faster you go, the faster you fly back. The dragon and the tiger flew back at extremely fast speeds, and the blood spurted from their mouths dragged a long line of bright red in the air. Finally, it fell near Yifeng, who was still vomiting blood from his mouth. Shock and disbelief filled their eyes. How is it possible? You, Boss Ma, you are actually, at the level of a military commander. The only one who had just taken action was Boss Ma, and the strength he showed actually reached the early stage of a military commander. It is completely possible for an early warrior to seriously injure 2 peak warriors in an instant. You are not so naive as to think that I am really only a peak martial artist, right? Boss Ma sneered again and again. Not only did he hide his strength from the outside world, but his 2 brothers also hid their strength. The second and third eldest children, outsiders think they only have late martial arts masters, but in fact they also have peak martial arts masters. No wonder he is so confident, it turns out he is quite strong. I even doubt whether you are tourists or are here to assassinate us. Why did you bring a young boy here? Go and kill this kid. Boss Ma said to the third child beside him. Yes, brother. Ma Laosin licked his thick lips. Boy, I'm going to beat you into a pulp. Ma Laosin rushed towards Yifeng. His weapon was a sledgehammer, which was extremely heavy and weighed more than several hundred kilograms. This kid is going to die, and I don't know how he offended the 3 evil men of the Ma family. I can imagine what will happen next. The news here has spread, and many onlookers came from a distance, but they did not dare to get close and only dared to watch from a distance. After all, swords have no eyes, and one of them is one of the 3 evils of the Ma family. If someone is accidentally injured, who can he talk to for explanation? Anyway, warriors have amazing eyesight and can see clearly from a distance. Seeing Ma Laosin rushing towards Yifeng, everyone had only one thought in their minds: Yifeng was going to be beaten into a meat pie. They had no doubts about Ma Laosin's fighting style and ferocity. No one who died in Ma Laosin's hands had a complete corpse, and they all needed a shovel to scoop them up. Die! Ma Laosin roared angrily, and with ferocious force, the heavy hammer hit Yifeng on the head with a powerful and heavy blow. Bang! Hit! The scene fell into an eerie silence. Everyone saw that the young man raised one hand, spread his 5 fingers into a palm, and steadily caught the heavy hammer. Ma Laosin suppressed his blush and pressed hard with all his strength. But the sledgehammer didn't even move downwards, it didn't move at all, and it stayed there. How is that possible? Everyone present was shocked. Clang! It's too late to say it, but it will be soon. Yifeng's other hand was already ready for action. The sword was unsheathed and cut through the sky, passing through the middle of the neck of Ma Laosin, who was full of astonishment. Puff! Blood splattered everywhere. The huge head was lifted directly from the shoulders, fell to the ground, rolled several times, and finally stopped. With widened eyes, still filled with the astonishment of his life, he stared straight at Boss Ma over there. Chapter 31. Too strong. This boy, he's too strong. In one face-to-face encounter, I killed Ma Laosin instantly. The 3 evils of the Ma family have hit a brick wall today. It's not necessarily true. The strength Boss Ma showed just now has reached the level of a military commander, while the guy opposite is only at the peak of a martial arts master. The onlookers were talking a lot. In fact, what they can't figure out is that judging from their auras, Yifeng and Ma Laosin are both at the peak of martial arts, so why is there such a huge gap in their fighting power? Ma Laosin was completely helpless and was instantly killed. They were confused, but Yifeng knew it very well. The experience of 1,000 life and death battles, gained previously, will be of great help to combat capabilities. The second is the martial arts holy body, which makes Yifeng's conversion rate of qi and blood much better than others. In layman's terms, when others use qi and blood, it cannot be 100% converted into combat power, and there will be a certain amount of discount. The size of the discount depends on how high the person's conversion rate of qi and blood is. Yifeng, who possesses the holy body of martial arts, has extremely strong use of qi and blood, and can transform at 100% without any discount. Considering the above reasons, it is not difficult to understand that the combat effectiveness is stronger than that of the same level. Awesome, he turns out to be so powerful. Aaron and Ahu were shocked. Even if the two of them join forces to deal with Ma Laosin alone, they dare not say that they can kill him quickly. Yifeng did it. It is even more incredible to think that Yifeng is just a new student. Longtang Academy, this new student recruited this year, what kind of monster is he? Remembering that they had looked down on Yifeng before, they felt ashamed. They probably looked like clowns to the other party at that time. The third child, Ma Laozi and Ma Laoer both roared violently and charged towards Yifeng with full of anger. I want you to die. Revenge the third child. The two held their own weapons and rushed towards Yifeng. Yifeng was not afraid at all and fought against it. Seeing this situation, the two brothers Long and Tiger, who were still lying on the ground and had recovered a little, looked at each other, stood up in tacit agreement, and then ran away. If you don't leave now, then when will you wait? In their opinion, even if Yifeng is stronger than the same level, he will definitely not be able to beat Boss Ma, who is in the military general realm. The advantage brought by the crushing realm is huge, and Yifeng will definitely lose. Taking advantage of Yifeng to drag the enemy with him now is the best time for them to escape. As for Yifeng's life and death, they can't care that much. Bang, 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 bang. The three of them fought together, with swords flashing, and fists hitting the flesh. Yifeng fought against the two men alone without any fear. He relied on his excellent body skills to move around. Blessed by the talent of Wind Whisperer, he has a high affinity for the wind system and can capture changes in the surrounding airflow and detect their movement trajectory in advance. Let Yifeng be able to deal with the attacks of the two people with ease. After being unable to take down Yifeng, the Ma family began to sweat profusely. Countless times I asked myself, why is this kid so strong? Not good. Suddenly, the bright sword light flashed, reflecting in Ma Laoer's frightened pupils. He wanted to resist, but found that Yifeng's attack contained several changes. If he could block the first step, he would still have the second step. If he blocked the second step, he would not be able to block the third step. The timing was perfect, so that Boss Ma next to him had no chance to support him. Ma Laoer was desperate and was killed by Yifeng with a knife. The only one left is Boss Ma. Even with the initial strength of a general, he was still no match for Yifeng. Yifeng originally thought that he needed to use the methods of a soul master to kill him, but he didn't expect that he could fight across levels using only a qi and blood warrior. After a fight, Boss Ma's actual combat power was not very strong, and his fighting skills were average. He only relied on his realm advantage to defeat Yifeng in a few moves. No, in the end, with an unwilling roar, Boss Ma was also killed by Yifeng with a knife. At this point, all three evildoers of the Ma family have been killed. Everyone who saw this scene was shocked and speechless. Just when everyone thought the battle was over, something happened again. In the direction where the dragon and tiger escaped just now, a figure approached step by step. This person wears a mask on his face, making it impossible to tell his appearance. He was actually holding a person in one hand. The person being held struggled hard but could not break free. It was Aaron and Ahu who had just escaped. By doing this, the hostility is already obvious. Everyone can't help but have doubts. The three evils of the Ma family are the three brothers. This is the consensus of the outside world, and there cannot be a fourth person. So now, who is this fourth person wearing a mask? Is this your companion? The masked man said in a low voice. It's obviously not a normal voice, but a deliberately suppressed pronunciation. Even though he suppressed his voice, this voice still sounded familiar to Yifeng. That's right, what's wrong? Yifeng responded casually. Save me, save us. Aaron and Ahu, while struggling, asked Yifeng for help. Especially when they saw that Boss Ma had become a corpse on the ground, they were shocked and seemed to be grasping at straws. Yi Feng is so powerful, far beyond their knowledge. The stronger Yi Feng is, the better chance they have of being rescued. What's wrong? Haha, if you want to save them, kneel down. Kowtow 100 times first. Maybe I'll let your 2 companions go as soon as I'm in a good mood. The masked man said jokingly. Really? Then you should just kill them. Yi Feng said with a smile. Not to mention that from the beginning, I didn't have a good impression of the 3 brothers, Long, Tiger and Leopard. Before setting off, they all agreed that no one would save anyone. Just talking about the whole process, the expressions of these 3 brothers were disgusting time and time again. Finally, he faced off against Ma Boss and Ma Lauer, and the 2 of them took the opportunity to run away. Even if he could easily save someone like this, Yi Feng would not care. Yi Feng's words made the masked man lose his mind. I was stunned for a while before I recovered. These are your companions, you really don't want to save them. Then I really want to kill them. The masked man emphasized, using his hands hard to grab the dragon and tiger, making them howl. Save us, the 2 wailed. Yi Feng took out his ears and shook his index finger from side to side. I bet you don't dare to kill Aaron Ahu. When the 2 of them heard this, their faces were ashen. Sure enough, click, the masked man's hands were so strong that their necks were crushed. Letting go, the 2 corpses fell limply. You lost the bet, the masked man said coldly. Really, that's really a pity. Yi Feng said with a smile, how about another gamble? What to bet on? I bet you, it's Zhao Donghai. Yi Feng sneered. Even though the other party suppressed his voice and said too much, Yi Feng still heard it. The masked man did not answer yes or no, but directly pulled out the sword from his waist. Glancing over there, he saw the corpses of the 3 evil men of the Ma family. You have grown so fast in just a short period of time, but it's time to end. As a result, I lost everything, my reputation was ruined, and I had trouble sleeping and eating. Then, just go to hell. When he said this, it was obvious that he was Zhao Donghai, and his voice was no longer suppressed. It was indeed Zhao Donghai's voice. The long sword broke through the air, carrying the power of the military commander in the later period, and stabbed Yi Feng straight. With such strength, one must use the ability of a soul master to kill him. However, there are many people here, and if he has a choice, Yi Feng does not want to show his identity as a soul master here. The trump card is the trump card because others don't know it clearly. Take Zhao Donghai as an example. If he had known in advance that Yi Feng had the status of a general-level soul master, he would not have dared to come alone to take revenge at this time. Such a threat will always exist. If he chooses to take action, he will definitely be unable to deal with it even with Yi Feng's status as a soul master, which will be very dangerous. Now, they can counterattack and eliminate the threat. Pretend to run away. Yi Feng immediately turned around, using his body skills to the extreme, and sprinted towards the outside of Blackwater Valley. Don't even think about escaping. Today, you will definitely die. Zhao Donghai also caught up immediately. After chasing and escaping, the 2 of them left the Blackwater Valley. The distance between the 2 sides is getting closer and closer. Ha ha ha, Yi Feng, didn't you expect that you would also have today? I will let you know today that if you offend me, you will die miserably. Die. Zhao Donghai's long sword went straight in and stabbed Yi Feng. Yi Feng turned around, deliberately showing a look of fear. At the same time, I saw Zhao Donghai's entire mask shaking at close range, which showed how ferocious the face under the mask was. At the critical moment, a beam of purple-black energy burst out from Yi Feng's mind, so fast that it was difficult to detect. Zhao Donghai suddenly felt a chill on his head, as if a bucket of ice water had been poured on his head. Alarm bells rang in his heart, and the premonition of death quickly grew. He raised his head suddenly, his pupils shrank suddenly, and the purple-black gun tip was reflected in his pupils. No! Screams resounded all around. The magic-breaking gun shot down quickly, accurately hitting Zhao Donghai's forehead, and the mask instantly fell into pieces. With strong penetrating power, the spear penetrated through, leaving a huge hole. Zhao Donghai remained motionless, slowly falling down, stirring up a large cloud of dust. Until his death, he could not figure out that Yi Feng was taking the college entrance examination more than 10 days ago, and his performance was only slightly better than other candidates, but he was far from being a pervert. Today, more than 10 days later, at this moment, I actually have the ability to kill him instantly. Even if this instant kill was due to surprise, even if it were a head-on fight, he had no chance of winning. Because, this is a Soul Master. Soul Master, invincible at the same level, reasonable for higher levels. Receive. The demon-breaking gun turned into energy again and was put into Yi Feng's mind. The first time he used the Soul Master's ability, the lethality was huge, and Yi Feng himself was also very surprised. He searched Zhao Donghai and found several bank cards. If you don't know the password, you can't withdraw the money, it's just like a scrap of paper. What's more, even if you get it, it's best not to take it. Once the money is withdrawn, the surveillance footage of the withdrawal becomes evidence. If Zhao Donghai is found dead in the future, he will not be able to escape suspicion. The security department just doesn't have much energy to investigate all murder cases, but it doesn't mean that they will sit idly by and ignore the murder cases that come to their doorsteps. This sword is good. You can sell it on the black market for a good price. Blackwater Valley is the best black market. Yi Feng took the sword and returned to Blackwater Valley without entering from the previous entrance. Blackwater Valley is quite large, with several entrances. Entering from the new entrance, it is quite a distance from the place where the three evil men of the Ma family were killed just now. No one here recognized Yi Feng. He sold the sword on the black market for 500,000 yuan and left Blackwater Valley. There was a car when I came, but not when I came back. But it doesn't matter, with Yi Feng's speed, he can run back. Finally, he returned to the provincial capital smoothly. In the Pearl Villa district, Villa number 108, I met Lin Tianxiang. Is there anything unclear about coming back so soon? If I had known that we would have left our contact information, we wouldn't have had to make this trip in vain. This is indeed an oversight on my part. When they first met, Yi Feng didn't say anything, but Lin Tianxiang just said it. By the way, where are the three brothers, Dragon, Tiger and Leopard? Lin Tianxiang discovered that only Yi Feng came back. Oh, I understand, you want to cancel the mission and let the three of them, Dragon, Tiger and Leopard, carry out the mission, right? He said this euphemistically, but what he actually thought in his heart was that Yi Feng finally realized that he was not strong enough, so he regretted it and came back first. The three of them are dead. Yi Feng's brief words made Lin Tianxiang jump up in surprise. Wah, what, dead, dead? After taking a deep breath, his mood eased slightly, and he asked, what happened? What does it mean to be dead? The three evil men of the Ma family have hidden their strength from the outside world. Yi Feng said simply. The three dragons, tigers and leopards were beaten to death. Yi Feng said half-truthfully. Then how can you come back safely? Lin Tianxiang wondered. Because I beat the three evildoers of the Ma family to death. Yi Feng said calmly. Lin Tianxiang's computer went down again and he almost thought he heard wrongly. Yi Feng pressed his tactical watch and played the video of killing three people. After reading it, Lin Tianxiang was speechless for a long time. Finally, he took a deep look at Yi Feng. New student, kill the general. If these two pieces of information are put together, they may seem contradictory. But with the video as evidence, he couldn't believe it, so he had to boil it down to the fact that there are always a few geniuses in the world who are incomprehensible. Lin Tianxiang operated online in front of Yi Feng and submitted a request that the task had been completed by Yi Feng. After passing the review, the credits will be awarded to Yi Feng. This mission has been successfully completed and it's time to go back. Lin Tianxiang also wanted to persuade Yi Feng to stay for a meal. Mainly because he saw that Yi Feng was powerful and had great potential, so he wanted to please him. But Yi Feng refused. I was in a hurry to go back, wait for the credits to arrive, and go to the collection pavilion to open the treasure chest. I didn't have time to stay for dinner. Walk slowly. With a smile on his face, Lin Tianxiang saw Yi Feng off from the villa area. Looking at Yi Feng's leaving figure, Lin Tianxiang murmured in a low voice, in the near future, the name Yi Feng will definitely become a household name, and he will definitely have a place among the ranks of big shots. Master, he is so young, is he as powerful as you said? A nearby security guard asked, scratching his head. Lin Tianxiang glanced at him lightly. There are so many questions, just keep an eye on your door. Yes, the security guard nodded and bowed. Yi Feng returned to Longtang Academy. I just received the reminder that the task was completed and the credits were received. Using the tactical watch to surf the internet, you can check your personal credits, which is 1,000 yuan, no more, no less. Open the treasure chest immediately. Yi Feng walked towards the collection pavilion. The news of Yi Feng's return was quickly learned by Zhao Shang. Why can you come back? Zhao Shang couldn't figure it out. Dealing with the three evils of the Ma family has exceeded the limit of Yi Feng's abilities. And after Yi Feng set off, he immediately contacted his uncle Zhao Donghai and informed him of the information. Zhao Donghai hated Yi Feng and wanted to take revenge for a long time. It was impossible that he would not take action. But why can Yi Feng come back alive and well? No, I have to ask about the situation. Zhao Shang immediately contacted Zhao Donghai. As a result, no one answered. I continued to call a few times and the same thing happened. Zhao Shang frowned. Is there something urgent? He could only guess like this, but he didn't dare to have the slightest idea that Zhao Donghai had been killed. Are you kidding me? With his uncle's late military strength, how could Yi Feng be able to kill him? In front of his uncle, Yi Feng was just like a baby just learning to walk. In addition to being abused, he was still abused. At this time, the eyeliner called him. Brother Shang, in the mission hall, the mission, Kill the Three Evils of the Ma Family, has been completed. The person who completed the mission is none other than Yi Feng. What? Zhao Shang jumped up in shock. Where did he get this ability? Cheating. It must be cheating. I'm going to the Jifa Hall to sue him. Yi Feng came to the collection pavilion. You can come and go at will on the first floor. There are many students and acquaintances there. Yi Feng, you come here too. Sun Rong saw Yi Feng and greeted him with a smile. He seems to have endless snacks, and he is still eating them. Well, let's take a look. Yi Feng responded with a smile. With that said, he walked towards the elevator door on the second floor. That's the elevator on the second floor. We can't get up. I tried it. You need to swipe your student card first and check that you have more than 1,000 credits. Then the elevator door will open. The more Sun Rong spoke, the softer his voice became, and his eyes grew wider. What did he see? He saw Yi Feng take out his student card and swipe it. Beep. The elevator door opened. Yi Feng walked in and the elevator door closed again. Sun Rong. Yi Feng entered the elevator and reached the second floor smoothly. There are not many people on the second floor and it is much quieter. There are rows of shelves lined with secret books. Only by opening the book and redeeming it with credits can you get the full copy. They were concentrating on selecting secret books, and no one paid attention to Yi Feng's arrival. Yi Feng seemed to be selecting secret books, but he was actually following the green arrows on the ground. Come to the fifth row, close to the inside. A green treasure box was placed quietly inside. Yi Feng finally discovered that the color of high-quality treasure chests was darker than that of non-high-quality treasure chests. I touched the treasure chest with anticipation. Snap. You opened a green, high-quality treasure box. Congratulations on obtaining. The third-level soul skill, Blood Spear Shira, has been successfully comprehended. 4,500 cards of energy and blood. Merge. Suddenly, a lot of insights filled Yi Feng's mind. At the same time, a picture emerged in Yi Feng's mind. A bloody spear exuded a coquettish crimson color, as if it had just been fished out of a pool of blood. The spear swept across the wasteland. Wherever it passed, there was a Shira scene of a mountain of corpses and a sea of blood. The picture ends here, and Yi Feng has just finished integrating his feelings. The scene just now is what it looks like when the Blood Spear Shira soul skill is used. Yi Feng was excited. With the soul skills, the combat effectiveness has once again been raised to another level. After 4,500 calories of qi and blood are integrated into the body, Yi Feng's total qi and blood reaches an astonishing 11,000 calories. The realm of qi and blood warriors has reached the early stage of military commander. Just add another 1,000 cards to advance to the mid-term. Yi Feng's upgrade speed is unparalleled. It's almost the same every day. Let me see if there is anything I can redeem here. If the credits are redeemed, it will not affect your future promotion to senior students. As long as you earn a total of 10,000 credits, regardless of whether you spend them or not, you can apply to be promoted to a senior student. Luo Hua Sword Technique. Level 2, 800 credits. Autumn Rain Sword Technique. Level 2, 1000 credits. After looking at it for a while, Yifeng shook his head. The second-level secret books displayed on the second floor are all second-level secret books. For Yifeng, there is no need to learn the second-level secret books. After all, he is already a military commander. If he wants to learn, he must also learn the third level. Then it will not be exchanged, and the credits will be kept for now. Yifeng simply went downstairs. As soon as he walked out of the elevator, Sun Rong blocked the door. It is estimated that he has been staying here since just now, waiting for Yifeng to come down. Yifeng, why can you go to the second floor? He also looked around, then lowered his voice. Have you discovered any loopholes that can evade the credit test? After hearing this, Yifeng smiled dumbly and simply swiped his student card again in front of Sun Rong. Beep. Student. Yifeng. Credits. 1000. Seeing the two lines of data on the small screen, Sun Rong's eyes, which were small because of his obesity, suddenly widened. 1000. You have 1000 credits. Where did this come from? He sounded extremely surprised. Of course it's a mission. Before Yifeng finished speaking, he was interrupted by the leader of a group of people who came in a hurry. Of course he came here by cheating. Everyone from Jifa Hall. This person is Yifeng, the new student who just entered school yesterday. He received a high-paying and difficult task, but it only took him half a day to complete it. I seriously doubt that he hired experts outside. The purpose of completing it for him is to earn credits quickly. Zhao Shang added. He had just learned that Yifeng had completed the task, so he suspected that Yifeng had cheated. Thinking that he had caught Yifeng, he immediately went to Jifa Hall to complain. Jifa Hall is the place where Longtang Academy handles incidents that violate school rules. The members inside are composed of two parts, the law enforcers and the judges. The law enforcers were the team called by Zhao Shang at this time and prepared to take away Yifeng. They are basically held by old students, and the requirements are relatively strict. First, they must have good abilities, and secondly, they must have good character, have been in school for more than 2 years, and have not violated school rules. If they act as law enforcers, they will be less likely to conflict with students and escalate the incident. The judges are some mentors who also have high requirements. They must be fair and just and consider the facts. They are responsible for investigating the authenticity of the incident and making the final judgment. Junior Yifeng, please come with us to the Jifa Hall to investigate this matter clearly. If you are wronged, we will definitely give you justice. A law enforcer with a square face said in a calm tone. Did he report it? Yifeng pointed at Zhao Shang and asked. Yes, the square-faced law enforcer nodded. Zhao Shang smiled triumphantly, with an expression that said, "You're in trouble now." Then if the final result proves that I was wrong, how should I deal with people who report others at will without evidence and cause a waste of human resources? Yifeng then asked. TCH, you're the only one who's still unjust. Zhao Shang answered quickly. The law enforcer said slowly. If this is the case, the whistleblower will be punished. The specific verdict is the responsibility of the trial instructor. We don't know this. Okay, lead the way. Yifeng didn't panic at all and followed them to Jifa Hall. Jifa Hall is located in the middle of the school. The entire building is white and looks solemn and solemn. The person in charge of Yifeng's matter was a man with a goatee. After listening to both sides' stories, he called up Yifeng's mission record. There was only a few hours between the time of collection and the time of completion. Most of these hours were probably spent on the road. It can be said that there was not much time left to carry out the task. After reading the mission introduction and Yifeng's new identity, the two really don't match. Only a few of the freshmen who just joined yesterday have received tasks, but the tasks done by others are in line with their strength. Only Yifeng completed a task that was extremely difficult for him. But this is a combat video during a mission. It was indeed completed by him. At that time, Lin Tianxiang wanted to submit the task completion and asked Yifeng for the battle video as evidence that Yifeng had completed the task. At this time, the goatee instructor called up the video for everyone to see. In the picture, Yifeng decapitated Ma Laosin with one stroke of his sword, with a clean and neat movement. Another scene, two people fighting alone. He quickly seized the opportunity and beheaded Ma Laoer. His sword skills were ever-changing and hard to guard against. Until the end, Boss Ma was killed without any suspense. Video playback ends. So strong. Is this a new student? The law enforcers who brought Yifeng over looked at Yifeng in surprise. They thought that this was just an ordinary cheating incident, and it had not happened before. Unexpectedly, this new student really did it, and it was indeed his task. And the strength displayed is also impressive. Instructor Goatee also looked at Yifeng in surprise, and even reconfirmed Yifeng's information. He was really a freshman this year, and he had read correctly just now. How is this possible? How is this possible? Zhao Shang couldn't believe it. How could Yifeng complete this task and kill him so easily? If you don't just look at the video and feel the atmosphere like you were on the spot, it would be difficult to judge the specific strength of the characters. Otherwise, it would be even more difficult for him to believe it if he learned that Boss Ma was actually an early-stage military commander. Teacher, now it has been proven that I am innocent and did not cheat. So what should I do with someone like him who maliciously slanders, accuses and reports me? Yifeng pursues the victory and will definitely not let Zhao Shang go easily. No, you must still have cheated. I didn't frame you. Before Goatee instructor could open his mouth, Zhao Shang beat him to it. The video only has a first-person perspective, and you have not shown your face in it, so the person in the battle video may not be you. So, I have reason to suspect that the person in the battle video is not you, but the master you hired at a high price to complete the task for you. It is equivalent to you paying for this video to complete the task. I can even conclude that you were just pretending to leave the school. You were actually wandering around somewhere, and then asked the experts hired in advance to help you kill the 3 evil men of the Ma family. After the killing, the video was transmitted to you. That's it. I mean, you were able to complete the task so quickly. Is it really so smooth? It turns out that we hired experts, so it will definitely go well. Zhao Shang became more and more enthusiastic as he talked, feeling that all the inferences he made were very reasonable. Do you have evidence? Don't you know that whoever suspects has to provide evidence? You can't infer guilt. Yifeng asked several rhetorical questions in a row. Zhao Shang was speechless for a moment and was speechless when asked. You must have cheated anyway, unless you can prove that you really have this ability. Zhao Shang started to mess around. Scoff. Why do I need to prove my strength? Yifeng retorted, even if self-certification is indeed very simple, but if you say self-certification, I have to prove myself. You are an egg. Yifeng was almost certain that Zhao Donghai was so well informed that it was Zhao Shang who tipped him off to intercept and kill him in Blackwater Valley. Fortunately, he still has the status of a soul master, otherwise he would really be in trouble. This Zhao Shang was already considered an enemy. Before he could cause trouble for him, he started to cause trouble for himself instead. On the contrary, it belongs to Tiangong. The more you dare not prove yourself, the more problematic you are. I am in the early stage of a military commander, do you dare to fight with me? As long as you can get a tie, it proves that you are capable of completing the task. Zhao Shang is aggressive, early stage of military general. Yifeng smiled. It can only be a draw. Can't I hurt you? Yifeng said jokingly. Zhao Shang was stunned for a moment, then laughed loudly, hurt me. Haha, of course you can do it if you have the ability. We can sign up for a ring battle, and you won't be held responsible if you get injured, and you can even place a credit bet. The so-called arena battle is set up by the school to encourage students to compete. Warriors need to grow in battle, and you cannot become strong just by practicing. If you sign a ring agreement, you can have a legal battle. As long as you don't beat people to death or maim them, no one will hold you accountable afterwards. If the two parties do not sign the ring agreement and arrange a private fight, the school will consider it a fight, which is a violation of school rules. The so-called disability refers to injuries that cannot be recovered, such as missing arms and legs, etc., which are classified as disabled. If you are just injured, no matter how long it takes to recover, as long as you can recover, you are not considered disabled. Humph, as long as you dare to agree, I want you to taste what it's like to stay in bed for a month. Zhao Shang thought to himself. When it comes to the ring agreement, it's already him. Later, it was also proposed that credits could be used to place bets, which was a further attempt to lure Yifeng into the trap with credits. Credits can be exchanged for various cheats, which is very attractive to any student. Okay, I'll sign with you, but it's up to me to decide how many credits to bet. Yi Feng responded. I was still worried about how to earn 10,000 credits quickly. Unexpectedly, this guy came to my door and wanted to make a lot of money from him this time. You can bet up to 5,000 credits. How many do you want? Zhao Shang asked. Up to 5,000. It turns out there are restrictions. Thinking about it, the school is just to encourage students to fight, not to encourage gambling, so there will definitely be restrictions. But 5,000 credits is quite a lot. That's 5,000, but I only have 1,000 credits now. Can this bet be established? Yi Feng is afraid that no matter how much he bets, he needs to have this amount, because the rules need to consider that if he loses, the person has the ability to compensate. It can be established, as long as your opponent agrees, then I agree. Anyway, after signing the agreement, you can't keep the debt. You can slowly earn back the 4,000 you owe me. Those who didn't know what Zhao Shang said that he had already won. In his heart, he really never considered losing. Are you kidding? In his early stage as a powerful military commander, will he lose? No one will lose to a freshman who only knows how to cheat. The two entered the official campus website, selected the arena agreement, and then signed it. The bet is 5,000 credits, and the fight will start at noon tomorrow at the competition hall. After verifying their identity, the signature was successful. At this moment, Zhao Shang smiled crookedly. He didn't expect that Yi Feng would really fall into the trap. Tomorrow, not only can he earn 5,000 credits, but he can also teach Yi Feng a lesson, killing two birds with one stone. From then on, Yi Feng became his slave. Every credit earned will be automatically transferred to repay the debt until the remaining 4,000 is paid off. For a freshman, it takes a long time to perform tasks normally and earn thousands of credits. After repaying the debt, accumulating 10,000 credits, and being promoted to a senior student, it would be a huge delay without knowing how long it takes. What if Yi Feng doesn't earn credits? It's okay, Yi Feng has been unable to graduate and has no future. No matter what, he could already foresee Yi Feng's tragic future. At this time, someone entered the campus official website and accidentally saw the information about the ring battle between Zhao Shang and Yi Feng, which immediately aroused heated discussion. Did you see the news about the arena battle at the top of the campus's official arena battle website? I didn't pay attention. Who was fighting whom? Why was it pinned to the top? It's Zhao Shang and Yi Feng. The match will start at noon tomorrow. They placed a bet of 5,000 credits, so they were placed at the top. Hey, 5,000 credits bet, isn't that the highest? No wonder it was placed at the top of the list. It's the first time for a full bet. I used to have 1,000, and I felt very arrogant. By the way, who is Yi Feng? What's his background? Zhao Shang is an old student and they recognize him. But this Yi Feng, they were not impressed. It is said that he is a new student who just entered school yesterday. What? Freshman? Everyone who heard the news was stunned. How strong can a new student be, no matter how strong he is? He actually had a ring battle with an old student. He even placed a full bet. Are people crazy, or is the world crazy? Could it be that Zhao Shang is tricking the freshman, right? He's tricking the freshman into fighting him in an arena, and if he wins, he can collect credits. Genius idea. Why didn't I think of it? It's just a bit mean. What a despicable thing. You can't force it. I just blame the man named Yi Feng. He's just stupid and fell for someone's trick. There are so many freshmen, why didn't anyone else fall for the bait? But him. That's true. The students had a lively discussion. The instructors also learned the news one after another. Deng Qingfeng, Yi Feng's junior mentor, immediately found Yi Feng after learning the news. Why did you agree to fight in the ring with an old student? And you also placed a full bet. Judging from his appearance, he was more anxious than Yi Feng. Only in the morning did I realize that Yi Feng had an astonishing understanding and was a malleable talent. Who would have known that before the day was over, something like this would happen to Yi Feng? Most geniuses are too sharp and do not understand the golden mean, and they often suffer a lot. But he never expected that Yi Feng would be so prosperous that he would lose all his sense. He asked for a fight, so I agreed. Yi Feng said matter-of-factly. Then if he proposes a life-and-death battle, do you have to agree? Deng Qingfeng looked like he hated iron. Ah, there's such a good thing. Yi Feng looked forward to it. Dang Qingfeng. This man is hopeless. Tutor accommodation area. Su Chani's yard. There was a hot aroma lingering in the surrounding air, and the nearby flowers and plants looked a little wilted, as if they had just been baked by the high temperature. At this time, Su Chani was wearing a training suit, with two big round thunders, like ripe fruits waiting to be picked, about to pop out of her clothes, and her hot figure supported the alluring S-curve. She had just finished practicing, with a blush on her cheeks, making her look even more attractive. During the break, she accidentally saw news about the ring battle. Is he crazy? Su Chani said subconsciously. If he wasn't crazy, how could he accept the challenge? She was still very optimistic about Yi Feng, but now, Yi Feng's actions make her feel that at least in terms of character, Yi Feng still has a long way to go. Forget it, let's teach him a lesson and hope he can grow up from it. Without a good character, he cannot become a strong person. Su Chani murmured. Then he continued to practice, and suddenly, the heat rose again in the yard. Yi Feng walked to the dormitory. Along the way, it attracted a lot of attention. Because of the arena battle, many people went to get to know Yi Feng out of curiosity, and they learned about his appearance. In their opinion at this time, Yi Feng was the stupidest among the freshmen in this class. If they had known it was so easy to deceive, they would have been the first to deceive him. Now that Zhao Shang has taken the lead, he cannot draw up a second battle agreement before the battle is over, otherwise he will have to sign one with Yi Feng no matter what. Even if you are scolded for being mean, you still need a piece of meat. 5,000 credits is not a small amount, so what if you are scolded? Yi Feng gradually approached the student dormitory area, turned his head and looked in a certain direction, where the blue arrow extended all the way. I heard that that's where the tutors live. Hurry up and earn 10,000 credits, become a senior student, get close to Su Chani, and find a way to open her treasure chest. Yi Feng. When she returned to the dormitory area, she happened to bump into He Ziling and she shouted. Is it really you who signed up for tomorrow's ring battle? She asked eagerly. I signed it. Yi Feng nodded. Why did you sign this? That scumbag is an old student and is much stronger than you. How could you win? He Ziling felt incredible. Could it be that you agreed because you knew about my disfigurement and wanted to teach this scumbag a lesson? He Ziling said subconsciously. It's just that I felt a little embarrassed when I just finished saying it. It was a bit self-righteous to say this. It was true that she and Yi Feng were friends, but it was not enough to lose their minds and sign this unequal battle agreement because of this. Fortunately, Yi Feng didn't think too much and smiled mysteriously. You'll find out tomorrow. No matter how much she explains now, He Ziling won't believe that she can definitely win, so she might as well let her see for herself tomorrow. The next day, noon. After more than 10 hours of fermentation, almost all teachers and students in the school knew about the fight. Even many people who were not at school hurried back just to witness today's battle. If it was just a normal battle, even if there were 5,000 credits at stake, it wouldn't be that attractive. The key part is the huge disparity in strength between the two sides. One of them is an old student who has been in school for more than 2 years and is in the early stages of becoming a military commander. On the other hand, they were just freshmen who had just entered school 2 days ago. No matter which angle you think about it, you feel that this is a battle without any suspense. Competition hall. There were huge crowds of people, including teachers and students. In the middle of the hall, there is a large square arena. On one side of the arena, Zhao Shang stood there holding a knife in both hands, with confidence and indifference on his face. Why haven't you come yet? The surrounding audience couldn't wait for Yi Feng to show up. Oh, I'm afraid I won't dare to come. Zhao Shang sneered inwardly. He probably won't come. When I signed the agreement, I signed it as soon as my head got hot. But now I realize it was for nothing, so I didn't dare to come. If he doesn't come after the deadline, even if he abstains, he will still lose. You lose anyway. If you don't come, you will get less of a beating. Zhao Shang earns these 5,000 credits so easily, I'm so sad. I rushed back from outside. I thought I could see a special battle, but didn't expect this. My trip was in vain. The audience was talking a lot near the ring. It's okay if you don't come, so as not to get hurt and affect your subsequent cultivation. Yi Feng's mentor Dang Qingfeng also came to watch and breathed a sigh of relief. Not only him, but also many mentors came, including Su Chani. I don't know what this kid is thinking. Su Chani shook her head. Just when everyone thought that Yifeng would not come, they were ready to break up. He's coming. Swish swish swish. Everyone turned their attention to the door. The scene I saw was shocking. Yifeng looked tired, yawned, almost dropped a toothpick in his mouth, and walked over like that without any image. Putting aside everything else, how can people believe that they can win with this image? After approaching, Yifeng looked around at the crowd present. When he arrived at Su Chani's place, he paused for a moment. Finally, his eyes were fixed on Zhao Shang on the ring. With a slight leap, Yifeng jumped onto the ring and faced Zhao Shang from a distance. Haha, I thought you didn't dare to come. Zhao Zhang's head was raised proudly, with a contemptuous smile on his face. I finished lunch and wanted to take a nap. Then I remembered that there was still this battle, so I rushed over. The time was just right. Yifeng picked his teeth and said, "Humph, just pretending." Zhao Shang snorted coldly. "Can I start the beating? After the beating, I can go back to sleep." Yifeng asked. "You have a chance to sleep, and you can spend most of the next time sleeping." Zhao Shang smiled grimly, meaning something. "Huh, where are your weapons?" Zhao Shang suddenly discovered that Yifeng was empty-handed and had no weapons. "To deal with you." Yifeng twirled his fingers, "No need for weapons." "So pretentious." The crowd chanted. "Pretend, you won't be able to pretend anymore after a while." Zhao Shang sneered. This is why they misunderstood Yifeng. To deal with Zhao Shang, there is really no need for weapons. There is another key reason. It is not a life and death battle now, and we cannot directly hack to death. If we use a knife, we can only use an unedged one, which is not pleasant to cut. Ding dong, ding dong. The countdown to the start of the battle sounded in the arena. 3, 2, 1. The battle begins. The electronic prompt sounded. Boom. Zhao Zhang's energy and blood suddenly increased, his feet suddenly exerted force, and he rushed towards Yifeng. With his speed, he rushed from one end of the ring to Yifeng on the other end almost instantly. The audience exclaimed, as expected of a military commander, "This speed is so fast." On the other hand, Yifeng stood motionless, probably not reacting yet. Also, a new student would definitely not be able to react in front of a military commander. It's over. Everyone thinks so. Only those mentors faintly noticed something was wrong. Yifeng, so calm. It's not like I can't react at all, more like. Boom. At this moment, Yifeng also mobilized his energy and blood instantly, and his powerful breath suddenly burst out. General, he is also a military commander. Everyone was so shocked that their mouths were about to dislocate. The aura erupting from Yifeng's body actually reached the early stage of a military commander. Why don't you? Zhao Zhang's idea just came up. At close range, Yifeng's sandbag-sized fist was aimed at his face. Not good. Zhao Zhang's face was distorted, and he did not hesitate to damage his body, but also wanted to change his body shape in an instant. However, Yifeng's fist seemed to be equipped with automatic tracking. Almost as his body moved to dodge, his fist also moved accordingly. The response is so fast, it's astonishing. Boom. A precise hit to the face. Zhao Zhang's face, the bridge of his nose was instantly sunken, and blood flew out. Yifeng did not stop and punched out with both fists. Boom 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 boom. Like two machine guns, they fired hundreds of punches at all parts of Zhao Zhang's body. Zhao Shang was suddenly thrown out of the ring and smashed into the audience. The whole person became a bloody man, motionless, as if dead. The whole place was silent. Finished, call it a day. Yifeng clapped his hands, took the toothpick and continued to pick his teeth. You win an arena battle and win 5,000 credits. A prompt popped up on Yifeng's tactical watch. The credits have been deducted from Zhao Shang and added to Yifeng. Yifeng's total credits have reached 6,000. Beautiful. It was only then that the scene erupted into applause from landslides and tsunamis, as well as extremely noisy exclamations. Too strong. After just one encounter, he was knocked away. What the hell is this new student? In that moment, there were at least hundreds of punches, right? Such a fast punching speed puts me to shame even as a boxing major. It requires a very high degree of control of the body to have such explosive power. Both old and new students were extremely shocked. The old students were shocked that a new student was so powerful. The freshmen, while shocked, were also half proud and half ashamed. I am proud that there are such strong people among the new students. Let's see if these old students dare to bully them. I am also ashamed that I am also a freshman. They are already extremely strong, but I am still working hard to become a martial artist. Comparing one person to another is really annoying. We are both college entrance examination champions, but he has already left me so far behind. Sun Rong's face was full of bitterness, and he felt that the snacks in his mouth no longer tasted good. Yi Feng is so strong. He Ziling murmured softly. When she was practicing last night, she luckily broke through to the martial arts realm. I originally thought that the strength gap with Yi Feng had narrowed, but now I know that there are still several gaps between them. No wonder Yi Feng was so confident yesterday. And when she saw that scumbag Zhao Shang, he was really beaten into disgrace by Yi Feng. Not to mention how happy she was, he finally vented his anger on her behalf. The instructors were equally shocked. How can this kid be so strong? With this strength, he will probably surpass me in a short time. Deng Qingfeng was shocked. No wonder he responded to the challenge so happily. It turns out there is something really good about it. What he doesn't know is that when it comes to real fighting, Yi Feng is no worse than him now. His growth rate is faster than mine at that time. Su Chani seemed to have discovered a new world, staring at Yi Feng in surprise, with a bit of stubbornness that refused to admit defeat. Even though she is already King Wu, she is actually only in her 20s. Young people are always more competitive. When you see someone who is better than yourself at the same stage, you will inevitably feel frustrated while admiring him. He ignored the rules of fighting and killed my brother. He is a murderer. While everyone was immersed in the shocking emotions, a discordant voice sounded. When everyone looked around, they saw that Zhao Ming was full of hatred. Next to the bloody Zhao Shang, they were a little at a loss and had no idea what to do. He can't die. I knew where to start. I only injured him. He could lie down for half a year at most, and then he could get up and sit in a wheelchair. After another half a year of recovery, he would probably be fine. There is no need to fuss about such a small injury, Yi Feng said lightly. Everyone, know the appropriateness. Lying down for half a year. Will you be in a wheelchair for another 6 months? Is this a minor injury? Look, are you talking in human language? Zhao Ming was almost furious. When he looked at Yi Feng, he was shocked and angry. Deng Qingfeng walked over and checked Zhao Zhang's body. You won't know if you don't check, but you'll be shocked if you check. There are hundreds of fractures all over the body, evenly distributed throughout the body, and cleverly avoiding vital points so as not to kill the person. In terms of internal organs, they were also injured by the shock. In short, the internal injuries were very serious, but fortunately they could be recovered. In other words, only warriors with strong physical fitness have the possibility of recovery. If it were an ordinary person, no, even if it were someone with weak strength, it would be difficult to recover from this kind of injury. Unexpectedly, the seemingly approachable Yi Feng would be so ruthless. There is nothing wrong with this. Zhao Shang was the one who set the trap first, so it doesn't matter if he is ruthless. As a warrior, if you are too kind and soft-hearted, you will often suffer big losses. He's not dead yet, he just passed out. Contact the infirmary and get him treated immediately, Deng Qingfeng said. After hearing this, what else could Zhao Ming say? Of course, he should send his brother to treatment quickly. If he was sent too late, he might not be able to save him. After this incident, Yi Feng immediately became popular. The surrounding instructors, especially the senior instructors, all stared at Yi Feng. Their idea, anyone with a discerning eye can see, is to compete for Yi Feng as a student in advance. With Yi Feng's strength, they knew very well that it would not be long before he could earn enough 10,000 credits and become a senior student. At that time, they would need to choose a senior mentor. Geniuses like Yi Feng are hard to find even in a lantern. When he grows up, his achievements will be unlimited, and he will definitely compete to become a student. Don't even steal it, he belongs to me. Following the words, Yi Feng's eyes lit up with flowers, and the fragrance filled his nostrils. Su Chani's proud figure appeared in front of Yi Feng. It bounces well, but it's a bit dizzy. Teacher Su, many of the good talents in the past have entered your school. This time. Su Chani interrupted directly. There's no need to do it this time or that time. I'm the one who proctored the exam in Linhai City. I've already taken a liking to Yifeng and I won't give it to you no matter what. Su Chani's attitude was tough and she would not give in. As she spoke, the temperature around her gradually increased. Okay, what's yours? I won't snatch it from you. Seeing that the momentum was wrong, the other instructors gave in. If you really want to be serious, this girl really dares to use swords and guns with you. The key is that she is terrifyingly strong. She is not called the youngest female martial arts queen in Lingnan for nothing. That's pretty much it. Su Chani raised her head like a proud swan. Yifeng, when you become a senior student, you will come to me immediately, do you understand? Su Chani told Yifeng. This situation is exactly what Yifeng wants, but he asked out of curiosity, do I have the right to choose? Logically speaking, students also have the right to choose their tutors. If they really don't want to be your tutor, can you still force them? The other instructors who had given up the competition had their eyes lit up when they heard this. Yes, students also have a choice and can refuse. If they reject Su Chani, won't their opportunity come? All the senior instructors looked forward to it, and their eyes glowed again. You have the right to choose, but you are not allowed to refuse. Su Chani waved her fist. That's it. I have to take one step ahead. After your credits reach 10,000, remember to find me and wait for you. After Su Chani finished speaking, she disappeared into the hall without giving Yifeng a chance to speak. What a domineering fool, Yifeng complained. That's true. The radiant spirits of the teachers dimmed again. However, this was just like Su Chani's style, so they were not surprised. In the next few days, Yifeng found some tasks to do. With Yifeng's current strength, it is relatively simple to earn credits. The credits increased rapidly and soon reached 9,000. Choose another 1,000-point task and you can reach 10,000. Yifeng was choosing on the big mission screen. This mission requires entering a secret realm. At this time, a clue to the treasure chest popped up. Treasure box clue. In the green secret realm, a green, high-quality treasure box appears, please go and open it. The green secret realm is a place with dense plants and rich in medicinal herbs. Many people who need herbal medicine will immediately think of this secret place. This secret realm is also dangerous, with poisonous substances and strange beasts. There is also a species that is even more peculiar and fits the characteristics of this secret realm. Demonized plants. The so-called demonized plant is a plant that can move. Judging from its appearance, it looks just like a normal plant. But it is like an animal, its trunk and branches can move, as if it is alive. There are many kinds of demonized plants, with different shapes, and they are all dangerous. Maybe a nearby willow tree, which was peaceful at first, suddenly swung its willow branches, tied people up, and hanged them alive. The scene was strange for a time. Fortunately, the conditions for the formation of demonized plants are relatively harsh. The right time, place, and people are indispensable. At a certain time, when an opportunity comes, plants can be successfully demonized and wisdom can be born. There are also very few parts that come from reproduction. For example, a certain demonized plant condenses seeds, and the seeds germinate and grow, forming a new demonized plant. However, the reproduction rate of demonized plants is very low, so this situation is relatively rare. Everything has two sides, just like strange beasts. While they pose a threat, they can also bring beneficial things to people. For example, the flesh and blood of alien animals, eaten all year round, is helpful for warriors to improve their chi and blood. The materials on some exotic beasts are extremely strong and can also be used to make weapons. The same is true for demonized plants. They themselves have medicinal value. After being killed, the corpse is very valuable. In addition, if you are lucky enough to get the seeds or seedlings of demonized plants, as long as you have the ability to cultivate it, it will be a great force. Like a war pet, it can help its owner fight. There are extremely aggressive fighting types, and there are also defensive types that can form a protective armor that covers the whole body and take damage for others, or other auxiliary types. Rumor has it that many years ago, there was a man named Mu Bufan, with average martial arts qualifications. His future in martial arts training was limited, but he was unwilling to be mediocre, so he devoted himself to studying demonized plants. Later, he really became famous for his research, and he was extremely knowledgeable about demonic plants. He successfully cultivated many demonized plants, some of which were extremely powerful in combat, much stronger than himself. It is said that he, who was only a martial artist, actually relied on demonized plants to kill a martial king. After the news spread, countless people were shocked. At the same time, it has also made many people jealous. After all, there is too little relevant information on cultivating demonic plants. Even if there is research, it must be hidden and will not be made public. Therefore, even if you are given a demonized plant suitable for cultivation, you will not be able to cultivate it successfully because you do not have the relevant knowledge. The ordinary man is not guilty, but he is guilty of carrying the jade. When you have a valuable treasure but are unwilling to give it away or share it, then someone will definitely take risks and use despicable means to rob you. Many forces have focused on Mu Bufin and launched various interception and killing operations. The purpose is to obtain all the results of Mu Bufin's research on demonized plants. A few months later, Mu Bufin disappeared, and no one knew his whereabouts anymore. Some people say that he is incognito and hiding. Some people said that he was already dead, stabbed to death, and the murderer was unknown. 20 years have passed since then, and the name Mu Bufin can only be heard in people's mouths, and no one has seen this person again. Whether he was hiding or really dead, no one knows. Back to the present, Yi Feng is looking at the task list. Task: Excavate 10, Qingfengsao, plants. Details: Commissioned by Ankang Pharmacy, go to the Fengming Valley in the Green Secret Place and dig out 10 Qingfengsao. Recommended strength: military general level or above. Task reward: 1,000 credits. Deadline: June 30th. The mission seems simple, but in fact the risk is not small. The Green Secret Realm is a third-level secret realm, and it is safer to enter with the strength of the generals. There is still a deadline for this task. Yi Feng subconsciously glanced at the date, June 30th. Isn't it just today? In other words, after today, the task will expire. Time is running out. Yi Feng immediately accepts the task. Set off. Anyway, there is a treasure chest in the Green Secret Realm. You must go there this time, otherwise you can consider changing to other tasks. Now go over there, dig up the Qingfang grass, and then open the treasure chest, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. On the road, Yi Feng took the opportunity to inquire about information about Fengming Valley. I really found a lot. It seems this place is quite popular. Fengming Valley. In June every year, there are strong winds in the valley, and the wind howls. During this period, plants will grow rapidly, and some of them have medicinal value, such as Qingfengsao. But be careful, during this period, the valley is most dangerous and attracts many wind-loving and strange beasts. Yi Feng learned about it and had a basic understanding of Fengming Valley. I finally understand why there is a task deadline. Because after June, the strong wind in Fengming Valley disappeared, the Qingfang grass stopped growing, and it was impossible to find it until it was too late. 2 hours later, Yi Feng finally arrived at the Green Secret Realm. It is located to the north of the provincial capital. There is a plain here called Green Plain. I don't know whether it was because of the secret realm that the plain was called this name, or because it was originally called this name, and after the secret realm appeared, it was called the Green Secret Realm. This question is irrelevant and no one cares. In the center of the plain, the void seemed to have collapsed. It was at least the size of a football field, emitting green light, and the color matched the surrounding plains. There are relatively few strange animals in this plain. It stretches as far as the eye can see and there are not many places to hide. The intelligence of alien beasts is not as good as that of humans, but they also know that without a hiding place, they will die faster. At first glance, I saw no strange beasts, but I saw a lot of people walking together in small groups. Not all of them are military commanders. As long as there is at least one military commander in the team, even if the other team members are martial arts masters, it is usually not a big problem. I wonder what the wind speed is today over there in Fengming Valley. It's the last day. This time I enter Fengming Valley. I want to get more herbs. There are many people who want to go to Fengming Valley. It seems that there will be a lot of competition. Vaguely, Yi Feng heard many teams talking about Fengming Valley. Maybe it's because it's the last day, and if you miss today, you'll have to wait another year, so everyone gathers together to come here. Of course, there are quite a few who are not going to Fengming Valley, they have their own destinations. Some distance away from Yifeng, there were 3 people standing side by side. The man on the left has a strong build, a long knife at his waist, and sharp eyes. He looks like a guard. The man on the right is holding a vessel in his hand, with a serious look on his face, not knowing what he is looking at. The most eye-catching thing is the man in the middle, a handsome young man, who speaks and behaves like a noble family. The 3 of them exchanged a few simple words, but their voices were very low so that no one else could hear them. They quickly approached the entrance to the secret realm, and a strong suction force acted on them, and the 3 of them quickly disappeared. So does everyone else. Yifeng also approached. This is Yifeng's first time entering the secret realm, so I don't know how the experience will be. Although I have checked other people's descriptions in advance, my own personal experience always feels novel. As it gets closer, the suction becomes stronger and stronger. Finally, unable to resist at all, he was sucked in violently. Yifeng also disappeared on the spot. The whole transmission process is very wonderful. The body no longer seems to be one's own, it seems to have been dismantled into countless pieces, and even the soul has been stripped out. The whole process felt unreal, probably somewhat similar to a dream. Until he regained control of his body, the scene in front of him gradually appeared. As far as the eye can see, it is full of greenery, with weeds several meters high and giant trees hundreds of meters high. The plants inside look larger than those outside, and many varieties are not found outside. Some of them are very brightly colored, and most of them are highly poisonous, so it's best not to get close to them. When he came here, Yifeng had already done his homework to avoid violating taboos. At this time, there was no one else around. When you come in, you come from the same entrance, but you will be randomly teleported to various places in the secret realm. First figure out where you are. Yifeng clicked on the tactical watch and unfolded the pre-downloaded map of the green secret realm. This secret realm has been in existence for many years. Except for a few dangerous places, most of which have been explored to some extent, the map is still relatively comprehensive. Position. The tactical watch scans the surrounding scenery and then compares it with the map to find the location. The positioning was soon successful, and a red dot appeared on the map, representing Yifeng. Yes, it's not far from Fengming Valley. Yifeng immediately set off towards Fengming Valley. Because of the time limit, I dug up the Qingfang grass first, and then went to find the treasure chest. As for how to return to the outside, you need to return here again, and the suction will naturally send you back again. In other words, everyone has their own place of return, where they appear after coming in, and where they will be when they return. Like those who form a team, they hold hands when they come in, so they can be transported to the same place and will not be separated. 10 minutes later, Yifeng arrived at Fengming Valley. Before entering, you can hear the whistling wind coming from the mouth of the valley. Yifeng walked in. Phew, phew. The strong wind blows the sand and rocks, and the smoke and dust billows, making it difficult to see clearly outside. Finding herbs will increase the difficulty. However, Yifeng was able to cope with such a windy place with ease. The talent of the wind whisperer makes Yifeng more friendly to the wind element and his perception becomes more sensitive. Whoosh! A wind blade suddenly struck from ahead. When vision is hazy, ordinary people can easily fall victim to this trap. Fortunately, Yifeng didn't know how to sense it in advance, moved his body slightly sideways, and dodged the wind blade. The strong wind will form wind blades, which have considerable attack power and are also one of the dangerous factors in Fengming Valley. Yifeng walked inside, dodging a wind blade from time to time. He looked like he was strolling around, very relaxed. On the other hand, others walked cautiously and were injured from time to time. Even if they were lucky enough to escape, they were so frightened that they broke into a cold sweat. Some people retreated and left Fengming Valley, while others lingered in place, not daring to go deeper. Because the deeper you go, the stronger the wind, the denser the wind blades, and the greater the power. As he advanced, Yifeng also felt changes. The frequency of the wind blades had at least doubled, and their power was also stronger. Finally, Yifeng saw a Qingfang grass. Just as he was about to get it, Yifeng narrowed his eyes. I saw a wind wolf with a strong body, rushing towards the breeze grass. Court death. Yifeng shouted loudly and crossed the distance between the two sides with a single lunge. The wind wolf also noticed Yifeng rushing towards him. It was fierce and grinning. The wolf's mouth that was originally biting Qingfang grass turned to bite Yifeng. However, the sword light was cold and cold. Ouch! With a miserable wolf howl, Feng Lang's body was split in half by Yifeng. I mean, why is it so hard to find? It turns out that not only other people are looking for it, but even animals are here to get a share of the pie. Yifeng murmured, dug up the Qingfang and put it into his backpack. If it were a step too late, this Qingfang grass would definitely be eaten by the wind wolf. It is probably beneficial for them to eat this. Yifeng moved on. Next, Qingfang was found one after another. The fifth plant. There was another Qingfang grass on the ground, which was dug up by Yifeng and put into his backpack. Suddenly, two people appeared nearby and approached. Boy, that breeze grass belongs to us. Both of them had arrogant expressions on their faces and spoke harshly to Yifeng. Yours. These words almost made Yifeng laugh. Things in the wild are on a first-come, first-served basis, so why do they belong to them? Is it possible that it was planted by you? Yifeng sarcastically asked. Don't tell me, we planted it. The two laughed loudly, looking like they were determined to get you. Then what do you think we should do now? Yifeng said coldly, murderous intention gradually brewing. It's very simple. Hand over all the herbs you dug, no, all the things you have on you. Yes, hand them all over, otherwise this will be your burial place. The two said fiercely. For them, there is no sense of guilt in killing people. This is reality and human greed. When Yifeng inquires about information related to the secret realm, he will always see a reminder, be wary of anyone in the secret realm. Then, let's try that trick on you. Yifeng murmured something in a voice that could only be heard clearly by himself. You don't have to pray quietly there, it's useless. Hurry up and hand over the things, don't test our patience. The two scolded. As soon as I finished speaking, I suddenly felt something was wrong. Yifeng's pupils turned strangely red, just like blood beads, which looked very scary. A powerful and terrifying aura erupted on Yifeng. You, what's wrong with you? Both of them panicked. Facing Yifeng at this time was like facing a bloodthirsty demon who killed without blinking an eye. Without any hesitation, the two turned around and ran away. Whoosh! A bloody spear quickly appeared in front of Yifeng. Call out! The blood gun shot away quickly, and wherever it passed, the void was dyed red, as if it had been dragged by a bloody corpse. The blood-red gun shadows darted back and forth, and their heads exploded all over the place. Receive. The blood gun flew back, restored its original purple-black color, turned into energy, and entered Yifeng's mind. Yifeng's blood-red pupils also returned to their original black color. This soul-summoning skill deserves to be called Blood Spear Shira. The process of performing it is really bloody and brutal, but the power is indeed much stronger than when the soul skill was not used. Yifeng searched the two of them and found a lot of medicinal herbs. It is estimated that most of these herbs were robbed by them. There are more than 10 varieties, among which there are 5 Qingfang, plus the 5 I dug up, the total is just 10. There is no need to continue to look for it, the task is completed. You can go find the treasure chest. Yifeng took the herbs and walked outside Fengming Valley. Leaving Fengming Valley, Yifeng followed the green arrow on the ground and headed towards the treasure chest. I hope the location is not too difficult to reach. After walking for about 20 minutes, we still haven't reached our destination. The trees in this area are relatively dense, so Yifeng walks more carefully, fearing that something will suddenly pop out. As if to confirm Yifeng's thoughts, a pinprick-like sense of crisis emerged without any warning. Before he had time to think about it, Yifeng suddenly exerted force on his feet and immediately jumped away from where he was standing. Bang! A thick vine suddenly emerged from the ground where Yifeng had just stood, like a huge green python. What a risk! Yifeng is afraid. If he had reacted any slower, he would have been attacked by this thing. This is a demonized plant. Observe this object carefully. It is about 10 meters long and as thick as an adult's torso. It is overall green and has moire-like textures on its surface. Yi Feng can already conclude that this kind of plant that seems to be alive is a demonized plant. Before coming here, I was wondering if I would encounter demonic plants during this trip, but I didn't expect that I actually did. When Yi Feng's thoughts were wandering, whoosh, Ivy launched another attack, like a long whip, whipping Yi Feng hard. Fortunately, the speed was not too fast. Yi Feng used his body skills to quickly avoid it. Don't think I'm easy to bully. I'll die. Yi Feng drew his sword and struck. It also wanted to dodge, but due to speed issues, it couldn't move faster than Yi Feng's knife. Laugh. A slash of the knife caused green liquid to splash out. It's really tough. With such a full blow, I thought it would be cut off directly, but in the end, it was only cut in half. What's even more surprising is that a large amount of green juice oozes from the wound, healing the wound at a speed visible to the naked eye. In less than 10 seconds, the wound healed as if it had never been injured. What an insane healing speed. Fortunately, the opponent's attack speed is not fast, otherwise with such an abnormal healing speed, he would be invincible. Bang, bang, the earth shook, and 2 more identical ivy branches came out of the ground. 2 more. Yi Feng's eyes widened. If that's the case, then I have no choice but to use a trick. Whoosh, the magic breaking gun is condensing. Blood spear Shira. The soul skill was used, the blood was overwhelming, and the spear was dyed red. Call out. The blood gun shot away and swept across ivy. The power was so great that one of the ivy branches was swept into 2 pieces with one blow. Haha, let's see what you do now. Before Yi Feng finished speaking, the broken piece, like a gecko's broken tail, jumped crazily on the ground a few times. A magical scene happened. The 2 broken sections actually came into contact with each other. Under the treatment of a large amount of juice secretion, they were quickly connected back together. This self-healing ability is really incredible. Yi Feng continued to complain, and the attack did not stop. His soul power controlled the magic breaking gun, and he attacked Qingtang from a distance. Qingtang's attack speed was relatively slow, and it became increasingly difficult to parry under Yi Feng's crazy attacks. Bang! The spear swiped again, and all 3 ivy branches were cut off. This time, I never took him back. From this point of view, it cannot heal itself endlessly. Finally, under the strangulation of Yi Feng's spear, he was strangled into pieces and finally killed. Yi Feng walked over, grabbed the root, and pulled up suddenly. Its root-covered head was pulled out of the ground by Yi Feng. I thought the 3 ivy stems were 3 demonized plants, but it turned out to be 1 demonized plant with 3 ivy stems growing there. Yi Feng suddenly said. The dead ivy actually shrank rapidly, shrinking at least 10 times. Demonized plants have the ability to change size. Yi Feng knew this and was not surprised. In its normal form, it looks like this little one. When fighting or hunting, it becomes bigger. Of course, how big they can be depends on what stage they are currently growing to. Take this ivy for example. Yi Feng has searched online and finally found relevant information. It is called Yunsang vine. When it grows to 3 vines, it has a strength equivalent to that of a military commander. Each vine can reach a maximum height of 10 meters. The form just now is its largest form. The characteristic of Yunsang vine is that it has an extremely abnormal self-healing ability. As long as it is not smashed to pieces in an instant, even if it is broken into several pieces, it can recover quickly. Or, like Yi Feng, you can use your speed advantage to keep causing damage to it, and you can also continue to consume it. When it can no longer heal itself, you can kill it with 1 blow. The relatively slow speed is its weakness. According to online reports, Yunsang vine can grow up to 6 vines. At that time, its strength will be equivalent to the martial master realm. In fact, its biggest advantage is not in combat, but in its use as a defensive armor. It allows the Yunsang vine to grow into a suitable size and wrap around the warrior's body to form a tightly fitted defensive armor. This armor has terrifying self-healing capabilities and can be upgraded and grown. Yi Feng thought about the information he just saw and felt that this Yunsang vine was really a good thing. But if you want to achieve this, the premise is that Yunsang Tang recognizes you as the master. It is impossible for adult demonized plants to recognize their masters. They would rather be killed and self-destruct than to recognize their masters. That's why Yi Feng didn't hesitate to kill Yunsang Tang. If you want a demonized plant to recognize its owner, there are only two ways, which is to get the seedlings of the demonized plant, or get the seeds. No matter which type, it is very rare. Even if it is obtained, it will not be able to grow without the correct cultivation plan. Yi Feng tried to search around to see if it was possible to find a mulberry vine seedling. If you can, that's perfect. Unfortunately, after digging almost 3 feet into the ground, nothing was gained in the end. Sure enough, with the extremely low reproduction rate of demonized plants, seedlings are not so easy to obtain. Yi Feng picked up Yunsengtang's body. To be more precise, pick off its head. The head contains the essence of plants and trees, which is a good material for refining alchemy, especially for refining healing elixirs. Hey, why are you wilting? Yi Feng suddenly noticed that the head of Yunseng vine was wilting rapidly. It was as if all the essence had been sucked out, leaving only a layer of rotten skin. Isn't it? Will it wither and rot after being beaten? But I have never heard that after killing a demonized plant, the body will rot. Yi Feng observed carefully and quickly discovered the clues. Inside the rotten skin on the head, there is actually a blue ball, the size of a baby's fist. Seed. It's the seed of the mulberry vine. Yi Feng exclaimed, his face full of surprise. Even if you kill 100 demonized plants, you may not be able to find even one with seeds. The first time I killed him, I just happened to encounter him. I can only say that I was really lucky. However, I don't know how to cultivate it next, and I will figure it out later. Yi Feng left here with the seeds, and then headed to the treasure chest. After advancing for a while, we finally approached the place where the treasure chest was located. What happened? The crowd in front was noisy, and there seemed to be people fighting. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.